Morning Pillaging Show. Chris for Raiders. Oh. Raider Nation, Jasin. Oh. Pillaging just for Sundays. Oh. Me and Chris, we don't miss. Oh. Me and Chris don't miss. Oh. Me and Chris don't miss. When it comes to this Raider content, we don't miss. Raider Nation, we don't miss.
Thank you, and welcome to the Sunday Morning Pillaging Show. With your
Hey,
host,
Jason, what's going on, brother?
Chris for Raiders, and your boy Raider Nation Jason in the house, man. What's up?
Well, man, it's Sunday morning. I feel better than last weekend, but I'm good. I'm good to go. I'm all happy. I'm
Glad
at
you
97% health, so I'm good to go. So what's on the story today? What we got?
Oh, we got a jam-packed show today. Yeah, we got some two guests that should have been on here a long time ago. This is a long time coming. We have RaidersRebel and
Hey.
HawaiianKandie.
No, not the HawaiianKandie. Not the HawaiianKandie. She's on our show today?
Oh, the HawaiianKandie.
Well, shit, I should have shaved and took a shower and got cleaned up. I didn't know she was going to be on our show today.
Yeah, brushed my teeth today, so I think I'm ready.
Well, I brush my teeth 5 times a day. Hey, let's bring them on. Let's welcome to the show.
Let's do it.
Hey guys,
Hey, Candy.
how are you?
Nation, what's good? What's good?
What's up?
We're going to put you guys on top since you're our special guests. We stay at the bottom. What's going on, guys?
Oh, we get the top of the screen. Hey,
I'm like,
what's
I'm,
going
Oh,
on?
you just
I'm
when,
usually
when,
always on top, so
when the when a monitor says special guest, that means you got to get special treatment. You know, you don't get the champagne and caviar. You'll get a cold beer, some crackers, but still your special guest.
Damn, I knew I forgot something. Damn.
I forgot the crackers.
forgot
That was
Yes, you forgot the crackers. Man, what's going on, Nation? We pull up on Sunday before football, right? Getting ready to set off the clickety-clack here next week, man. What better place to be than with my guys pillaging just for fun, right? So,
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Salute,
wanted to
yes.
Come say hi.
Hey.
Say hi. He kept scratching.
Bro Dizzle, what's good?
Say hi.
Yeah,
Rodeo.
definitely, furry friends are definitely welcome to the show. You know what I mean? Definitely.
All right. So
You-
let's see who's in the
You
chat
could
with
at
us.
least
right
you
now.
could at least put on his Raider shirt, man. That's messed up.
I did
Hey.
not find it. I just moved here.
How you gonna do the dog like that? You just put him on with no Raider representation. Can't even
shit.
talk.
Okay, I was not seeing all these comments. I didn't even know there were. I've never used StreamYard before, so bear with me. Hi guys.
Nice.
Stevie
I'm
Boss,
not-
welcome to the show.
I have not.
Shout out to the
I
chat.
didn't see
Chat
the-
lives
K
matter.
Moon.
Shout out to
Yep,
the chat.
bow,
Hi
bow.
everybody.
We got Trixie Blue in the house. Robert
What's
Pena's always in the
up?
house.
I know Robert,
Nola.
my brother.
Eagleson.
Welcome.
Who else in there? I'm gonna get everybody in right quick.
Tia is
We
our
got Raw
brother.
in the house. Hey, hey.
Julie. Hi guys.
Taylor, hi.
Sorry, I was not seeing the chat. This is the first time I've ever used StreamYard, so I'm like, where is everybody? Yeah, I got all kinds of people in here. Hey, you
Our
guys,
boy
make sure you
Chewy.
go and go click on their channels and give them a like for me, would you? Go show
Can you guys hear
everybody-
Candy all right? Because you're kind of low on my end. Can you guys hear all right? Because it's kind of real low.
Sorry, I
Yeah,
have to
turn
probably
it
get
up.
near the microphone.
There
Okay.
you go.
I'm so
Put
bad.
put
with
your
this.
mouth on it near it.
Hey, hey, hey.
Is that better?
Hey,
Okay, I think that's a little better.
Grimes in the house. We got Cheer That.
Yo, hi guys.
Julie. What else we got in here?
I'm
Got a lot
not
of people
used to
here.
using the microphone. I usually just
Killer,
stream
Wild
off of a
Floor,
phone.
Greg
What
Lira,
up,
what's good, man?
Killer?
Appreciate all y'all.
Raiders suck. Yeah, so does your mom.
The best
Ooh,
mod
I
in the
got
building. And hey, it's Sunday. Watch your language now. Come on.
Please. It's Candy
What's
Sunday,
going
okay?
on?
This is how
Raider
it works in
Jeff,
my house.
what's
Let's
good?
be
What's
real.
good?
Oh, Candy's in the house. Hey, what's up, Candy? Great
Oh,
Lero's in
yeah.
the house. We got a lot of people in the chat, man.
Salute to everybody pulling up on this Sunday. Welcome, welcome. Let's get in some Raider talk. What's good?
And we got this guy. I'm thinking I'll ban him, but he's in it anyway. I'll probably ban him, but he's fine.
Hey, I know
Yeah,
him.
Yeah,
He's good.
Yeah,
Jeff,
he's one of those.
401. I was
He's
gonna
one,
put the night bot on Jeff 401.
yeah, he's one of those guys, but he's here.
Yeah,
Anyway, so Candy, to your thing, yeah, the Raiders do suck last year,
Someone just
but
said Raiders suck. I was reading the comments.
we ain't sucking no more. Tell you that.
Right? I think we're gonna do really well this year with Pete Carroll. Like, I don't know much about him. I haven't really done my studying on. I'm the type of football fan that watches when
Works for
everybody
touchdowns.
else. You know what? No. Okay, I used to. Okay, but no. So when it comes to football, I didn't really like sports growing up. I couldn't stand sports. I remember when I first started dating Rebel, I was like, I can't stand football. I can't stand basketball. Don't play that shit in my house. Like, straight out. Oh, he did not listen.
Guess what's on Sundays now? Wait, guess what's on Sundays in the house now?
Yeah, exactly. No,
Hey,
it
Marcus
was
Banks, welcome to
funny
the
though,
show, bro.
because I couldn't stand sports, and then watching him and how passionate he was just about the chats and about the games, and just watching him look at all these YouTube channels. And then I started watching the YouTube channels, and I seen so much passion from everybody else. And I haven't really followed a lot of other sports teams, but I don't see the same passion in other sports teams as you do in the Raiders. The fans, the team, the coaches. Do you just see? You can see the passion radiate off of them. And
We bleed silver and black. Sorry.
well, no, and that's what it is a lot of that's why I never followed sports, because I was like, oh, it's just some stupid game. But you don't see how much passion that people have for it, and how much love they have for the players, and how they get into it like it's their babies. I cared for my kids as much as I see him care for the Raiders. And it's like, okay, if somebody can love something that much, I have to see what it's about. And I just recently learned what a first down was. I thought it was like 40 yards, not 10, or 10 yards, not 40. I don't even remember. But so I've just learned little things. I don't know a lot, but the passion in the fans, the passion in the team, that makes me want to learn. That makes me want to know. That makes me want to follow and focus. And I'm ADHD, so I don't retain it a lot, but I do learn, and I see how everybody else is just, they just love it. And that makes me want to love it. Like, I love the camaraderie that you get from the crowds, from the fans, more than anything, from the fans, and how much they come together when they don't even know each other. People from across the world come together like they're brothers and sisters. And you don't get that in this day and age. There's so much hate in this world. There's so much hate around, just in general. And that's something you don't see at the games, except for the other teams, for the Chiefs or, somebody else. But you don't see that with Raiders players, no matter what they have against each other in color, in society, in whatever. They come together at that game. And that's something I love, because it brings unity.
Well said. Well said. I think that's for all of us, like, what brought us to the nation too. And that's Rebel. You did a great job, man. You know what I mean? You repped it the right way. You drew her like my girl too. Like, ever since, I guess, seeing me and, the passion and the love, I have for the squad. She was originally a Cardinal fan, but she has been adopted into the Raider Nation. So, shout to you at home. You know what I mean? So, like, we are doing what we can to make the nation strong again.
Yeah, well, you gotta remember, I'm one of the old school guys. So in case you guys don't know, I've been a Raider fan since the 70s. I seen the good points, the bad points, and I still stuck with the team. Some fans change their colors when their team loses. They were like, "Oh, Raiders suck," or whoever team they with. And then when they lose, they go to a different team, whoever's winning. Those are favorite Raider fans. I'm not a favorite Raider fan.
That's not a fan. That's not a fan at all.
Exactly. Most of the nation, we stick through thick and thin. We've been sorry for the last 20-some years. So to have the nation stick together like that shows true fans, real fans.
Yeah. It's
Facts.
nice when people come together.
Facts.
Football
Definitely
was best
so.
in the 70s, Greg.
I don't know how I can match any of that. So
I don't know
yeah.
anything about football in the 70s. I wasn't born until the 80s.
Yeah, I just know they played with no teeth, like back in those days.
Right?
They
No, I'm
played
still
with
like,
teeth. They played with teeth. They had dentures. You know, they weren't
They look
hockey
like-
players. They played with teeth.
they look
know,
like hockey
but
players
back
back in the
then,
day.
Raiders
Yeah.
Rebel
back
is my
then with the
ex-boyfriend.
what those teams did back then, they can play in this NFL because back then it was you talking about like violence? Yeah, it's extreme violence.
Oh
it
yeah,
was like
they were
And
now they can't.
My aunt was born
all you
in
gotta say,
Oakland,
all you
so-
gotta say is 00 Jim Otto, a guy that played with a broken orbital bone, which is your eye socket, for a whole entire season with one eye, playing, offensive line. Come on, like at center, let alone offensive line. Like you got one eye and you're playing a whole entire season. That's stuff like that made me a Raiders fan. I was like, these guys are, the biggest, baddest, toughest, meanest dudes on the field with the best colors. Best players, best coaches. Like when I was coming up, it was Howie Long, Marcus Allen, Jim Plunkett, guys like that back in the day. So Lyle Alzado, like
Yeah,
Like
it was hard. It was hard knocks football. I mean, I wish you can go back on a time clock and put Hard Knocks on HBO back then. They'll probably get a TVMA rating because they hit so hard. They're like, Jesus.
it would have had to be on HBO for sure.
It had to be on HBO after dark because that's how bad it was. Or good it was.
So Hero asks, has anybody seen the House Bunny? She plays the perfect role. You must be talking about your mom, Hero.
Yeah, leave Hero alone. That's Piano Man. He does that.
I know Piano Man. He comes in. He's my little troll fan. I love
Yeah,
him.
chill
He
out.
knows I have nothing but love for him, Piano Man. You know I love you.
Yeah, chill out, Piano Man. Don't start spamming chat because I don't know what channel you. I think you're on
Yeah, I do
Kandie's
read
channel.
books, bro. I'm sorry. Do you want me to teach you how to read piano? I can teach you if you need to.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I
I would like not to turn this to a Piano Man show because it's not his show. He's scared to come on the show. Me and Jeff.
Oh, he
invited
said
him
he
to
would
show.
come on mine, and he won't come on either.
We invited him to multiple shows. Come on, talk your talk. We're for that, but he won't come in. So that shows to me that whatever. You might be a 12-year-old kid doing this. But anyway, so let's talk about the Raiders. So I'm gonna start with you, Candace. This is the first time I actually saw you, talked to you. What do you think the Raiders' record is gonna be this year?
So I don't really understand like records, but I say as far as games, so I think it's 17 games they play, right?
Yeah.
And so I would say honestly, if I don't know how the O-line works. I don't really know much about like the offense and defense and stuff like that. I know like Max Crosby and stuff, and there was a few games I seen last year that I was like, Max Crosby was playing hurt, so it made me not be his fan as much when I was like, why would you play hurt and then not do well? But I think this year I really believe at least like 10 to 12 games I think they'll win or at least get close to winning. I really think they'll do pretty well. Maybe 5 or 4 that they might not.
And Rebel, I know me and you both pretty much agree on that. You said 10 games? I think I was one show 10 to 12 games on your last show.
Yeah, I had to shoot for the stars, man. I'm tired of losing. I had to get some vibes going out here and put it in the air. So I said 12-5. I know it's crazy, but it can't be done. I mean, we've seen like I said, the Commanders do it. We've seen Houston do it. We've seen teams like the 49ers who, won the Super Bowl and were trash last year, and everybody's predicting them to be back, in the playoffs in the Super Bowl again this year. So it can be done. And I think what we were lacking was, leadership in the locker room, leadership on the field, and not mainly leadership, but guys that have been there, done that, guys that have won, that know how to win, that have the blueprint of winning, that can, teach the other guys. We have, we brought in linebackers like Devin White, who's been to a Super Bowl, right? Been to a Pro Bowl. The guy knows how to get it done. He's played with guys like Tom Brady, so he knows their work ethic. He's going to, show these guys what it takes to get there, right? To get to the next hump. Even guys like Max Crosby, who's only been, there one time and lost. So I believe guys like that in the building, guys like Pratt, they know what they're doing. And a lot of people are sleeping on this linebacker room, but I think this linebacker room is nasty. I believe we're going to have one of the toughest linebacker rooms in all of football. I mean, if these guys, you think about Jermaine Pratt, you think about Landon Roberts, they're both the same kind of guys. You know, people say they can't cover. In a cover 3, they can cover, right? So, you know, I think it's going to be a different story. We have a different type of leadership. You know, we brought in veterans. We lost some guys, but we replaced them with guys like Jeremy Chin, you know, who I believe is going to play in the slot, play, you know, that third linebacker role in the 4-3 defense if they do decide, you know, to run that, which I feel they're going to, you know, change the defense up this year. So with the leadership, with the experience that we have, you know, Chip Kelly just getting to focus on nothing but offense like he did in college, like he did last year. You know, he had 2 receivers with 1,000 yards, 2 running backs with 1,000 yards. So this man knows how to get it done. What he's going to bring to the NFL is not ready for. I guarantee you they haven't seen it with 2 tight ends that we have, like Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer. So, yeah, man, I went 12-5 because I'm pumped for this season. And a lot of people say our offense is going to be better than our defense. That's great. I hope they are. But don't sleep on this defense. This front 7 is going to be nasty. They're going to put pressure on the quarterback. And what happens when you put pressure on a quarterback? They make mistakes, no matter if you're Patrick Mahomes, right? No matter if you're Jaden Daniels. Well, okay, not Jaden Daniels. He was the best under pressure last year. But any other quarterback in the NFL, right? When you put pressure on them, bad things happen. So that's why, you know, I shot for the ceiling. I feel like 12-5. It's probably, you know, 9-10 games is probably what it's going to be. But, you know, I went on a crazy prediction way before, you know, the season or before mini camp or anything, just with the guys we had in the building. And I hope it sticks. So,
Raiders.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was gonna say I actually believe it. I actually believe this time, you know, because every year we say we're gonna win, you know, playoffs. We're gonna do this, but we never do what we need to do on the field. But this feels good. This feels right from our leadership. I definitely agree with what you said about the linebackers. We definitely upgraded from last year, and even our up front, our front, say 4 to 5, will be better than it was last year. It sucks that it's without Wilkins this year, but at least, you know, we have the linebackers to kind of make up the gap. You know what I'm saying? And they're veterans,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And they know what to do. And putting that together, there's going to be communication without even words. It's going to be eye contact, just giving a look, and you're going to know what's coming. You know what I mean? Like now the DB room still, unless they know, like I said, unless they see something that, you know, we're not seeing every day because they're out there. But I do worry about not having another vet at the DB room. But, you know,
if you look at Pete Carroll's,
got a question from Greg right quick. So are you all satisfied with the Raiders team this season? Well, can't be satisfied till we see them on the field, you know. Well, I'm satisfied with what they did on the offseason, what they did in the draft, they did with the personnel. Especially, I'm satisfied with what they did in the upper management department. They got football guys in there, not just, you know, like I say every time, Mark Davis, just write the checks. Don't do anything football. Get football guys to do football. So I'm satisfied with that. But when they get on that field, start hitting each other, knocking people out, then I'll be happy.
Yeah, you know, I feel if you look at Pete Carroll's defenses in the past, it's been a bunch of young guys, right? They had, and you can say we don't have veterans, but you have Jeremy Chin out there in the backfield. You know, Pal Mal's going in his 4th year, I do believe. So, yeah, you know, that's a veteran in the NFL. Any way you want to slice it. So it's not, you know, 20-year veteran leadership, but it's young up and coming leadership. And, you know, in a Pete Carroll taught, you know, defense with Marcus Robinson back there. A lot of people forget what Marcus Robinson does and has done as a coach, right? And the teams he's coached, these young guys play for him. They know how to get these young guys to play. And if you heard Dante Thornton and other, you know, guys talking, they're saying DCam, watch out for DeCamerion Richardson this year. Maybe that's a reason why, you know, JB's on the second string. So, you know, if guys like that, DeCamerion Richardson with his size and his speed step up, and then, you know, Darian Porter is what everybody believes he's going to be. And then a lot of people are saying Eric Stokes, man. Eric Stokes is killing it in camp. Now, we'll find out in a couple days. And listen for that name, because I believe you're going to hear that name a lot. Lonnie Johnson, you know, you're going to hear these names. There's these guys are coming, right? And then as far as the defensive line, you know, Christian Wilkins not being in there, you have sharks in the water behind him, right? When you know you have an opportunity and all you have to do is, you know, flash and you're going to get play time, possibly as a rookie in the NFL, how can you miss on that opportunity, right? Guys like, you know, Tonka Hemingway and guys like JJ Pegues and even, you know, Tyree Wilson, if they move him to the defensive line, which there's a lot of talk of that lately. And I've been saying that for 2 years, right? The guy's a run stopper. You put a run stopper on the defensive line. So if you get these guys on the defensive line and they all come together, which we know Robbie Leonard can do, and then the fact that you have that Robbie Leonard is now the run defensive coordinator. So he's, you know, when it comes to run, he's setting up his defensive line how he wants it. In the past, it's been another guy running the defensive coordinator. So the run coordinator. So he's got 2 jobs now. I think our run defense is going to be better. And I believe that's why they gave him the job. And Pete Carroll feels, you know, the same way. And, you know, like I said, when you got young guys knowing that Christian Wilkins is going to be out and there's a spot to fill, that's, to me, I mean, if it was me, that I'm a shark in the water, right? I'm trying to eat. So I'm going to take every opportunity I got in camp to, you know, in preseason to show, hey, look, I want that spot. And I know there's guys on this team that want that spot.
And so you make a good point about the safety. So you got Shin and you got Paulo. So the way Pete Carroll designed his defense is that you don't know who's going to be in the box, who's going to be out on the flat, out there cover. So he can switch either or. So that gives the offensive coordinator like what they're doing. We don't know. And then you brought a good point about the Roberts. Last year, our run stopping was horrific. So now we got a linebacker that actually stopped the run. Well, Splain did what he could, but that's all we had was Bud Lane. Now we got Roberts. Now we got Devin White, and then we got a couple more guys.
So we got Crosby back. Like all those guys were hurt too. It was just Spillane, right? That's why he had over 100 tackles. It was him and Morey. It was him and Moreg. Him and Moreg had over 100 tackles. It was, you know, they were the defense, right? If they got past Robert Spillane, it was, you know, Trayvon coming up and making the tackles, and you know, and a lot of Pau Mao too. So,
yeah, but see, I don't like it when the DBs, the safeties, have 100-something tackles. That means that they're getting past the first 7.
Yeah,
they
but
should have tackles, of course, but if they're getting past the front 7. Or front 6, or how they're going to run it, that means they're not doing their job. They're not stopping their run. They're not doing their passes. Yeah, you'll get those tackles. But in the run, stop the run. Make them one-dimensional.
Well, I seen a stat where, you know, by the time we finished the season, or the last couple games, like the last 8 games of the season, we were 10th overall in run defense. So we were starting to come together when, you know, Kaylavon Chasen and those guys were out there getting playtime with Max hurt and Christian Wilkins hurt and Malcolm Kuntz hurt. Like our defense was playing very well towards the end of the season. That's why we won some of those games where people are like, why are we winning these games? Because our defense was playing well. And
that's why we
had a lot of guys out. Yeah, we had a lot of guys out. So to me, if those guys come back playing like they were, and then you know, throw Malcolm Kuntz on one side and Christian and Max Crosby on the other, plus the rookies we brought in, you know, and guys like Lonnie Johnson in a cover 3, you can take out that, you know, if you're running a 4-3 defense, right? 4-3 defense, if you're running cover 3, you can take out that third linebacker, which most of the time I don't think I believe it's not going to be a third linebacker. I believe it's going to be guys like Jeremy Chin, you know, possibly even Lonnie Johnson down in that, you know, whoever wants to be that run stopper in the backfield. I believe those guys are going to take that spot. So then you have 5 defensive backs, right? Instead of just 4. You have that guy that's coming in playing that third linebacker. And, you know, that's what Pete Carroll's done for a long, long time. And if he continues to do what's won them games, you know, we have guys just, I mean, if you think about it, you got Dante, you know, Darian Porter Jr. out there. Then you got Jacorian Bennett. You got DeCamarion Richardson, you got Eric Stokes, you got Lonnie Johnson, you got Jeremy Chin, and you know Trey Taylor if he makes it, Pau Mao, like that's a lot of guys right there that you can mix around, you know, playing 5 defensive backs. So I believe they're going to be a lot better coverage than we think. And like I said, with this defensive front, if your quarterback don't have, you know, 3.5, 4, 5 seconds to throw the ball, these guys can cover, right? They're not running around trying to stop receivers from comeback routes because your quarterback is scrambling. If they're in the playbook, they know, they should know the route or know what's coming, and they should be able to stick with these guys for 3 seconds. I believe we have guys on this field that can cover for 4 seconds. Now over that, it's going to be hard, but I feel we do.
You gotta look at the Pete Carroll mindset. Like I said, I watched Pete Carroll. Didn't talk Washington. Got to USC. You gotta look at how he liked to build his defense. He liked those big, long, tall, linky D-backs. He liked those run stoppers. That's what he likes on his defense. Pete Carroll's not a line coach. He's more of a DB backfield linebackers. He wants to see those guys. So Eric Stokes. Why you bring Eric Stokes in? He was hurt. Yeah, but remember, look at Eric Stokes' rookie year. He was balling his ass off.
He could tackle.
Exactly. Until he got hurt. He's a 6'1", 6'1.5", big size, big long arms. That's why he's playing the cornerback role. That's why he took over for Jacorian Bennett. Jacorian Bennett is only 5'10". He wants those big receivers. That's why he got Palomal. That's why he got Jeremy Chin. Because me and Jason saw Chin up close and personal in Bakersfield. And like,
huge, bro.
on field he looked small, but we got like, goddamn, I thought like, look up at like, oh shit, well, I'm only 5'9". So
you have that guy playing that third linebacker role or the slot role. People aren't going to want to throw the ball over the field. I'm telling you, like they're going to think twice. These receivers and tight ends are going to be coming back, being like, "Come on, man, don't run that route again, please don't run that route again."
What's black guy you talking about, Killer? He's black too. The guy next to me, so I don't know what you talking about. Anyway, get out here.
Kandie, go ahead.
Honestly, I just have to say this. I'm listening, and this is like the longest I can like sit and be quiet, and I'm like, I have no clue what the hell they're talking
I know it's killing her. It was like the whole. That was like
go ahead.
4 minutes. A whole 4 minutes. She couldn't say nothing.
Like I'm like, I have nothing to. Oh my god, Rebel talks more than I do now. What the fuck?
I was like, bro, she getting gagged over there or something. I know she was just dying, not being able to talk. I could see it. She was over there.
Yeah. No worries. No, I was gonna say because like we were gonna talk about for everybody because it was great how you guys introduced each other too, and how strong Raider Nation is too, and like I know for each of us like it's gonna be different lists of players like in our time. Like that you watched growing up as a kid that made it fun to be a Raider. You know what I'm saying? Like, who were those players for you guys?
So for me, I'm gonna go because not talking is killing me.
Ladies first.
So I wrote down a few, and it's not people that I have watched my whole life. Because like I said, I've only been a Raiders fan for the last like year or two. Before that, I used to run around saying I was a Bears fan because my grandpa was a Bears fan. But I never watched football before Rebel moved in, and we like forced me to watch it by not changing the channel. So I wrote down a few people that I've kind of watched over the last year and a half. And so like Max Crosby, obviously he is a really good player. He's a good defensive end. He has a lot of passion, a lot of leadership. People follow him. I really love like just how like his heart and how he can walk in the locker room and get everybody just going and getting them riled up. And I love that about him. He's strong. He comes, the way he talks, he's like very vocal. He's clear and concise and people listen. And that's one thing I love about him. I love the fact that he has all those tattoos. That's kind of cool. I would have never done that many hours at once like him. That's insane. You can actually die doing that. I heard it was like 50 some hours at once. So yeah, it's not good for your body. And then I also wrote down, he is a beast, but you literally, even if you get put to sleep, 56 hours of tattooing on your body could have literally put him in cardiac arrest. So another player I wrote down, was Brock Bowers because he's just a mismatched nightmare. The Raiders love him because they can't block him. They can't, stop him. Like he's too fast for linebacker. I mean, linebackers are too slow to get him, and then safeties are too small to tackle him. And so it's like, a lot of people they underestimate him. And so like his, basically like he's known for his work ethic, his focus and how he, he's always big, fast, and always seems to be open. And so, I think he's a really good player to have. I'm glad that they drafted him, in 2023, I believe it was. And I think that was a really, like, the fact that he went and did that hard in college and then still is doing just as well in the Raiders, because you see a lot of players, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know a lot, but you see a lot of players when they come to a team that they kind of like, oh, here, like Henry Ruggs, for instance, let's go drink and party and spend some money and then get in trouble. He just focused and put all his drive and power into doing well on the Raiders as well as he did in college to get drafted. So I really think that he's going to be a great player with that. My favorite, of course, Aiden O'Connell. I really think he should be the quarterback. Screw Geno Smith. He's too old.
Oh my God.
No,
Okay.
I'm just playing.
Wait, hold on a minute.
No, I
Jeff,
think that
hey,
he
Jeff,
I was about to
you
say, Jeff just lit up right now.
You here still. Yeah, you got an AOC fan. There you go. I like AOC, but yeah.
I am an AOC fan. I think that they haven't really given him a chance. They picked stupid Gardner Minshew, so the kid didn't really get the chance to grow because he was waiting for Garner to play, which was sitting there on the sidelines picking his nose.
It wasn't all about it wasn't about that. I'll explain to you what happened. I think what happened. Mm-hmm. But speaking of Geno Smith, Kandie, just to give you a little history. When the Raiders had that season with Gannon, that Super Bowl run, they were winning 12 games and 11 games. They were winning. They won the AFC West a couple of times. Do you realize that Gannon was almost the same age as Geno Smith is now? Gannon was actually a journeyman.
Actually is.
Gannon is basically the same age Geno Smith now. Gannon was a journeyman. He played for the Chiefs. We picked him up. He played a few other teams. Geno Smith didn't play for 7 years. He was on a bench. Okay. So saying he's too old was kind of comparable.
Well, I just meant compared to Aiden. He's, 11 years old, 10 years older than him or whatever. I just mean that I think, the fact that they drafted Aiden and he's trained with Tom Brady and he's grown, you can see his growth, not just in his physical from working out and taking care of himself, but just in his mental. Like he's always driven. Like he's very focused. He doesn't get rattled by other players. He doesn't get like upset or angry. He's just chill and calm all the time. And he goes in there with a smile on his face every single time. I even have video footage of him at practice because I went to the practice game last year before I got heat stroke. Long story. But I was at the practice game and I recorded a little bit of Max Crosby on the field and some of the other players and Gardner Minshew and even everybody else was starting to get tired and mess around, and you could see he was still up there just trying and just with a smile on his face, even when he was getting, tackled or whatever. And so it's nice to see somebody so driven, so calm, so smart, and still willing to, sorry.
Sure.
I get weird Snapchat calls from random people all the time. So like, as I was saying, like, I think Aiden is I think that I don't want Geno Smith to get hurt, for him to get a chance to play. But I mean, I was asking Rebel the other day, I was like, so can they just like give him a day off so that he can get practice? He's like, that's not how that works. So,
well, what's going to happen is that if the Raiders have a good lead on a team, a blowout team, they got it's 36-9 in the first quarter. You know what's going to happen? They'll probably put AOC and then give them some reps. Yeah, but I think one thing: have AOC at AOC sitting on the bench as a backup. I'm happy. At least we have a backup that's worthy of being a starter or some other team.
True, and yes, I'm glad that he is there to be a backup. I just hope that they don't trade him next year or something, because I know that was like a question this year, right? He was possibly going to get traded, and so that kind of freaked me out because I was like, I wanted him to stay as a Raider. I want to see him get his chance and either prove himself or then get traded. Like, at least give him a chance to prove himself. I know right when they tried last year, the couple games that I watched, he was turned sideways and they threw the ball at him and he didn't even, like, they called him on the radio when he should have been focusing, and that to me seemed like they threw the game on purpose. I was like, oh, and then when they should have kicked the field goal,
somebody don't even know football. Somebody that don't even know
I'm
football?
sorry, it looked
Hot
like the
take,
game.
hot take.
No,
I
it looked
think
like the game was
there it
thrown,
is.
and then there was another game
Through the
where
game
they-
in Kansas City. What?
So it's not just that. There
They
was
didn't throw the
another
game.
game. There was another game though. I'm sorry, from somebody who doesn't know football, right there, it looked like they threw that game like they were either paying off off AP's.
I will say
Let me
say
finish. Let me
this.
finish, please.
You know what that's called? That's
No,
called.
no.
You know
It
what that's
felt
called?
like
That's
they
called.
were.
That's called bad coaching, bad football
Okay,
management.
so
on the
bad
sideline.
coaching, but it
No,
also
yeah.
there was one other game where they were supposed to kick a field goal at the end, and it was common sense, and I don't even know anything, and I'm like, why don't they kick a field goal? There's 45 seconds left, and they
Bad
didn't
coaching.
kick a field goal. I'm like, that is somebody threw the game. Yeah, bad coaching because
Yeah.
didn't AP have like a bunch of debt? I bet you it was thrown so he could win something. I'm just
I was gonna say I heard that. I actually heard that. I actually heard that too.
What are you
About
doing?
I really
Don't
think
be
that
blasting
Yeah,
my guy AP like that. What the
that is
hell?
my opinion.
What's
I don't
wrong
know
with
football,
you?
but that is my opinion from an
Cut her
outside
mic.
person
Cut
who
her
doesn't know
mic.
who doesn't know something. What I see as a person who sees something, you see on the news, AP is in debt from some I don't know how many millions or whatever.
You
And
know,
then
they know they're gonna
these
put
games
anything
being
involved the
thrown.
Raiders. Anything involved the
Cut
Raiders in
Mike.
the media, they're gonna put everything they can
Conspiracy.
find negative. Have you noticed?
True.
Have you guys noticed in the
read the paper.
media? There's nothing negative about the Raiders in the media right now.
No, not at all. Not at
Nothing.
all. But there was
Nothing.
about AP, and then they threw games. So I'm like, come on.
Hey,
bro,
but I
that-
do
that
want to
just
say,
seems like-
but I do
Okay,
want to
sorry.
say there is something negative in the media that doesn't involve us, and it has to do with the lightning bolts. Y'all see Najee Harris get some fireworks?
Oh
stuff
no, it's
with-
nothing. Nothing
with his
happened.
eye. Now they talking about cutting him if they didn't already.
No, there's nothing news that they do that. Junkins, the running back from Iowa State,
domestic violence.
he's in jail.
Yeah,
Well, I
heard
don't know
about
he's out on bail, but
they said Saturday. I think he had a court date, but man, I hate that for that dude because that was my fourth running back in the draft. I was like, if we don't get this guy, if we don't get Genty, if we don't get his buddy Travion Henderson, that was next on my list. And then I'm like, damn, I'm glad they didn't draft him. Thank God we got AJ at 6.
yeah,
So
because
I had
one
two
thing
other
about Mark
players.
Davis, he ain't going for the domestic violence bullshit. The NFL period, they ain't going for that domestic thing.
Any of that stuff
We don't
is
know
intolerable.
exactly what happened yet until the
That's
court
some
date.
bullshit.
We gotta
Nobody
find
should
out
put
what
hands
happened.
on a woman.
What really happened? What really happened in the domestic violence? Because it could be a point, a shouting match or whatever. But we're gonna wait and see. So
yeah, it could. That shit happens all the time. They just want to press charges because they know, this dude's about to get, got a bunch of money now. So there's always that stupidity. But man, about that AOC thing, when she said that, I was laughing because why is a quarterback looking to the sideline when his offensive coordinator is up in the booth and a mic talking in his ear?
Exactly. So why did he turn or
why
left?
why
and,
would you
like, start
turn to
talking
the
to somebody?
sideline and get and them hike the ball when
Exactly.
your offensive coordinator is in your headset? He's upstairs. He's in your
That's
head.
what I'm saying.
He's not
It
on the
seemed like the
sideline.
game was
AP's on
thrown.
the sideline, but AP's not one talking to him.
It was
it's
somebody
his-
right next to him. He
it's
started
the
talking to
OC.
somebody next to him.
Okay,
or a step further. Why would you not kick a field goal when
that
you're
too.
you're close enough to kick a field goal and you have
Exactly.
the top kicker in the league? Yeah, sure, he missed a couple, but I mean, is he gonna miss it
I was
again?
gonna say, so they said he
Yeah,
missed like three in a row
in
or
that
something,
game.
right?
3 in that game.
Yeah, but that's coming from
Still
bad
matters.
organization skills. That comes from AP not knowing what the hell to do.
Chewy.
And AP, to me, in that season, was actually in charge of the team. That's what I'm gonna say. I was to mention earlier.
I don't
He
think
wasn't in charge of the team.
Yeah, we
He
don't
was
know.
he was more of a figurehead because as a nation, we wanted another coach besides McDumbass. So AP was showing, AP. Cool, we had him. He won a few games towards the end of the season. So we're ecstatic for him winning those games. That we thought he would have a good season this year. But to me, my opinion, he was not in charge as a head coach should be in charge, like Pete Carroll is right now. He's in charge. Him and Spytek are in charge. AP did not want to start Minshew, Booger Man. He want to start AOC. If you go back to the press conference, you can see on his face he didn't want to start him. He wanted to start AOC, the one who got him the damn job.
Yeah.
So that tells me that he wasn't
Where's
told.
our links, Pinna?
Right.
Yeah.
He's been pinning them in mine. So that's one thing I do want to say though about AOC. He is kind of steady, and he's the kind of quarterback that's steady, so they can build a team around him. I think they can build if he, as he grows, because he is learning and he is young, but he is showing growth and he's showing persistence and he's showing that he does want that. He's
And
showing that he wants it.
And sitting behind Geno Smith will only help him.
Yep, he'll just
Exactly.
learn. And
You
then
And being with people. Yep.
And
And
being
got a
with
true
people like,
veteran quarterback that been in the league for a while. Seeing
Yeah.
been through sorry teams and good teams. So
having
he
one of
sat
the
there
best.
for years and watched. And like I said, you look at Seattle last year, they won 10 games. They won 10 games. And they had a 20th ranked offensive line in the NFL. Now he's come to the 13th best. Last year, the Raiders are ranked in that second half of the season, their 13th best pass protection offensive line. After AP fired those guys, that's one thing he did good.
AOC did
So
get thrown
you
into
imagine
some
him, you
situations.
imagine Geno Smith behind the line with like a top 10 offensive line passing offense line. Can you imagine what's going to happen, especially the players we got? It's going to be a show.
So the
Yeah.
other two players that I did have, obviously all-time legend Bo Jackson. I remember my grandpa talking about him. My grandma and grandpa were Bears and Raiders fans. My grandpa was a Bears fan, grandma was a Raiders fan. So there was always a fight here on Sundays, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm going outside." But my grandma would talk about Bo Jackson all the time. She would just Bo knows. Bo's gonna get it. Bo knows. I'm like, okay, Grandma, who's Bo? When I was little, I was like, who's Bo? We never seen no Bo. We just heard Grandma and Grandpa talking about Bo. And so, I think it says like I copied a couple of little quotes from him. It said where was it? It said gamers know he's like unstoppable in video games too. I guess there's a game that they made about him called Tecmo Bowl, and so you can play games with him or some shit. Anyway, I really think, if he was alive, like those, if people couldn't see his highlights, if you can go back and see them, I think a lot of people would become a Raiders fan from seeing his perseverance. Plus, he played MLB at the same time of being a football player. Like, that's a lot of work on someone's body in general, playing two different sports and being at both those, that's a lot of work on a body, you not taking an off season and going straight to another sport. So that says a lot about him, his drive, his just ambition toward sports in general and camaraderie. I think that, says a lot about him. And he's iconic, he's fearless, made the Raiders cooler in the late 80s. And then Charles Woodson, I wrote down Charles Woodson. I don't really know much about him, so I did a little bit of research on him because I don't really know a lot of older players, and I wanted to kind of talk about players that stayed a Raider or retired as a Raider or as in the Raiders. Because I know a little bit about Derek Carr and Devontae Adams and stuff, but I wanted to focus on players that are still, in or retired as a Raider.
Remember this, Candy. Once a Raider, always a Raider, except for a few players. So, once there is always a Raider, no matter whatever you do in your post-Raider years, you're always going to be a Raider. If you did good, you're not an asshole like AB and all the other bull crap, then you're a Raider.
Yeah. But, the thing about Charles Woodson, the fact that he became, he came in instantly great. He was drafted by the Raiders, left for the Packers, but he came to finish his career with the Raiders later. He was one of the defensive Heisman winners. He's widely respected in football IQ and leadership, easy, just things like that. And he was smart and versatile and just shut people down. And that's the one thing I love about it is like he was real. He was real in himself. He wasn't trying to be a showboat or something like that, and that's what I love about these players. And I know a lot of people think Max Crosby is some showboat, but at the same time, I think his showboatness is what brings people. They're like, oh, he's cool, and it brings him his passion radiates, and that's what brings people to the team.
Yeah, but see, one thing about the Raider Nation is that we're passionate about our players. Sometimes we fall in love with players for no reason. But when we get a true Raider out there that's balling, playing games, getting those hits, and going in and dealing with the fans, because Woodson's always about the fans. Although I wish he would have got partnership with the Raiders, but he didn't. Got the Browns because that's his hometown. But he always will be a Raider to me. Always.
Yeah.
You know, it's like guys like some players like they back in the day. I'm gonna give you a little history. Back in the day, the Raiders we signed were actually real Raiders. Back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, they were Raiders. They
Oh,
played
yeah.
like
Savages.
roughnecks. They play like
They were savages.
you go to a bar and see the guy in the bar, the tough guy, want to beat everybody's ass in the bar.
Mm.
That's what we got. We got that guy.
Yeah.
Like he want to fight everybody in the damn bar.
Well,
That's
you
what we
can
got
see- you
back
can
in the
see in
70s,
parking
90s.
lots. I heard in like the 70s to 90s, like their parking lots people would avoid because it's crazy. They get in
Yeah.
fights and stuff.
But I'm saying, but that's not Raiders that we had back in those days. Then all of a sudden now shift change after Al passed away. We start getting players. I'll come to Raiders to get a paycheck. That's all they want. They want a paycheck. They don't be a Raider. They just want the paycheck.
Yeah.
But now
Like
we
Josh
starting.
Jacobs. And
I don't know,
like,
Rebel,
like-
agree with me. Now they're starting to focus on getting. Do you want me a Raider or not? Yes or no? Well, I want a paycheck. Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Do you want to play for the Raiders? You want to play for that shield? Yes, I want to be a Raider. That's what we're starting to get now.
Yep.
I just hope they fix the O line to be clad so that we can just get through this year. I want to see a Super Bowl. I want to
Play-
see Raiders win a Super Bowl.
Play for the
Oh, I
name
saw-
on the front, and they will bless the name on the back, like my guy JPJ says, right?
Yeah.
But man, like you say, comparing, Gannon to bringing in Geno, I feel like was a totally different thing. I mean, we had an O line, right? We had Lincoln Kennedy, we had Mo Collins, we had Frank Middleton, who else? Let's say Barrett Robbins. I'm missing somebody. We had a solid offensive line. Those dudes were nasty. Those dudes were Raider nasty, right? We don't know what this offensive line is. And then behind them, you had Charlie Gardner, right? You had Richie in there. You had Tyrone Wheatley. Then you had Tim Brown and Jerry Rice. Come on, man. We don't have that. We might,
Not
eventually,
yet.
but we don't have that. We're giving Geno weapons, but we ain't giving Geno those weapons. we are not giving Geno those kind of weapons. So,
I was comparing to Kenny was saying the age factor. I was comparing the age factor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care about what their style play because back then they played football a little different than they play now. I was comparing the age factor when Gannon came in, he was like the same age. We had weapons, we had offensive line, we had defense.
Yeah.
That's all I compare with.
We were nasty.
It was a successful build like that, though. Or I mean, excuse me, I can't even say it hasn't happened yet. But when we got Gannon, though, because remember he brought over Ryzen from KC, you know what I'm saying, and they had a good chemistry there to go along with Tim. Then we brought over Jerry. And you know what I'm saying, like it was really that was the start of the build. Like we were close in some games before that, but then like 98 and on is where we started actually putting together, more wins than losses. So hopefully this is similar to that situation, you know what I mean, where we are. It's not there yet, but we are building. And I hope we do add like a Andre Rison type, piece at some time too.
But we might already have that in the building, like
I have a question. So when it comes to coaches, like the only coaches I've actually seen as Raiders coaches since I've been watching is Josh McDaniels. Right before him was Gruden, I believe. And then after that it was AP, I believe, right? Or no. Yeah, AP after Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
And then now Pete Carroll. So obviously, like we already know So my opinion on it, as far as coaches, I know a little bit about Gruden because I remember my uncle talking about him when he used to be the youngest coach for the Buccaneers, I believe, when he was like 24. And so I kind of watched a little bit of him back then. But I mean, as far as his coaching skills, I know he was really, really good. So when it comes to the coaches, like who do you think was or will be a better coach, like as far as Pete Carroll now to Gruden to obviously Josh McDaniels wasn't that great, and then AP, like and all your coaches, like favorite coaches of all time, who do you think was the best coach, and like how does he compare to Pete Carroll now?
It was Madden, Flores, and Carroll right behind him, and possibly could, how long he stays here, we don't know. But if they start winning right now, I mean, right? Madden's only got one Super Bowl. It won't take long
Madden,
for Pete.
Madden
for
has
Pete
the
to-
highest winning
you know,
percentage of any coach in the NFL.
and you ain't gonna catch Flores with two. So, but he
And how
possibly
does-
could. You know,
How
and
does Pete
shit,
Carroll
anything could
compare
happen.
to
So
like the greats?
he's up
How
there.
does he compare? He is.
But
Okay.
but
he's
yeah,
up there.
Madden has the highest winning percentage of head coaches in the NFL. So there's no
Well, I know
comparison.
Madden is like, well, yeah, I
There's
mean,
no
besides
comparison.
Madden, I mean, obviously,
you-
besides Madden.
If you
What
don't
you
go
saying,
second,
like-
if you don't go second string, you won't go second tier.
Mhm.
No, excluding Madden, that'd be Tom Flores.
Okay.
Tom Flores took a ragtag team twice to Super Bowl and won twice in Super Bowl as underdogs. Okay, each time Flores took
So
it to Super
Madden
Bowl,
won
we
the
were
one, and then Tom Flores won the other
wait,
two?
hold on. We were underdogs in both Super Bowls that he took us to. The Philadelphia Eagles supposed to beat the shit out of us, and the Washington Redskins supposed to be like this. Well, point spread was like 14.5 points. We
Right.
both got an ass kicked in both of them, but yeah, he took our team, both our teams, to Super Bowls and whooped their asses so bad. So Tom Flores, you're gonna say, I'll say Tom Flores.
Okay.
Plus, he's the first Hispanic head coach in NFL history.
No, I think she's asking like where does
Compared to-
Pete
Yeah, like,
Carroll
where
rank?
does Pete
Like
Carroll compare? Like,
Yeah.
is he better?
like we haven't
than-
seen him coach for the Raiders.
Yeah.
We
but,
don't
like,
know
so-
yet. We don't know
so
yet.
do
We got to
you-
wait till this
Well,
season.
I mean, just as a coach in
Yeah.
general, I guess you guys probably know about
for
him
his
as a coach.
for his
I don't-
experience,
I don't
for
know
his
anything
experience,
about
I'm
him
gonna say
beforehand.
3. Like, I mean, if you look at coaches, I mean, we've had Art Shell, Jack Del Rio did very well. I don't know why he was ever fired. I hated
Exactly.
that. It drove me nuts.
Me too.
To blow up a team like that was already put together, and it it just set us back 20 years, and we're catching up. But that's under the bridge. Del Rio was a good coach. Gruden obviously was a good coach. I liked Hugh Jackson. I like guys like that. Art Shell, like I said, but to me, I think Pete Carroll, just with his experience and being in 2 Super Bowls, jumps to the 3rd best coach that's ever coached the Raiders, as far as I'm concerned. Like the way I
So
look at it.
compared,
Right there. Okay,
compared to
Ken, hold
Gruden,
on. Okay, right there. So read what Chewy said.
is one
No,
of-
because like I said, Pete Carroll, I'm a USC fan. Pete Carroll took a USC team that barely made a bowl game. A couple years later, they won national championships.
Mhm.
He took Seattle Seahawks, that one was competing against the 40 Winers, and beat them and went to 2 Super Bowls. So compare what he did to teams, he's up there. We don't yet compare him to any Raider coach yet because we are yet to see them play.
Okay. So as
Give him
far
2
as
years.
as far as
Yeah.
his coaching, like the way he coaches and then the way Gruden coaches, who do you think was a better coach? Just not as far for
Yeah.
the Raiders, but just in general.
You
as
can't
a
compare.
coach.
You
There
can't
is
compare
no
that.
comparison to them.
You can't compare that.
Yeah.
But one thing, Pete Carroll is a defensive-minded head coach.
Okay.
Gruden's an offensive-minded head coach.
Oh, okay. See,
You
I
can't
don't
really
know any of
compare
that.
the-
So
I'm gonna explain to you. You really can't compare to those different styles of coaching. Every coach in the NFL and college, all that stuff, have different styles like to run. Some coaches like to run offensive style teams. Some coaches like to run defensive style teams. Andy Reid is offensive head coach. Harbaugh is a defensive head coach. Sean Payton for the Broncos is an offensive mind coach. Pete Carroll's defense.
okay.
So it's hard to
they're
compare
not
Gruden. It's hard to
comparable
compare
as far as-
Gruden. It's hard to compare Gruden against Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll gonna
Carroll's
run
teams
defense
have always
and run the
been
ball.
both, though. Carroll's
Yeah,
teams
I-
always been mainly
Yeah, but
defense,
he's more
but
defensive.
offense
He's
was
more
defense.
defensive-minded.
Offense
get-
was right there.
I get what she's asking. She's asking basically from when Gruden came back, when Gannon, that time, and when Pete Carroll's coming for this era. How similar or how much better is this coach than Gruden of that time, of when
Yes,
Gruden
yeah.
came to us
Yeah,
in
like
that time?
how
That's
is
what
it
she
going-
was
How
asking.
is it going to compare to how much better he's going to do, in his coaching style? Do you think
Yeah.
he'll be better as a coach taking us further, or
Yeah.
do you think Gruden had a better chance back then of, maybe changing his style and taking us further?
I'll say
Yeah.
Pete Carroll. I'll say Pete
Yeah.
Carroll because he turned teams around in a couple of years.
And he
Gruden
has more
took
weapons.
that first
Okay.
stint with Pete Carroll. He already had the weapons. He already had everything there.
Gruden,
Pete Carroll don't have the weapons yet, but he's getting there.
Okay.
I'll say Pete Carroll because the way he turned teams around in a couple of years.
yeah, it took Gruden a while. He had to build his defense. He had to build his offense. He got rid of a bunch of star players both times he came. He's the reason why we don't have Khalil Mack. So definitely different styles, but we lost the same kind of guys in Nate Hobbs and Trayvon Moorick and Robert Spillane, and guys a lot of people didn't want to lose. So, it happens
So you
when
guys
new
do
coaches
like-
come in, but Pete Carroll easily to me.
Okay, so you think he's a good asset to the Raiders compared to
Oh,
how
yeah.
Gruden was, and
hell
you know,
yeah.
just okay. Because like the
Yeah.
only thing I've really seen about Pete Carroll, like I've never really read anything up on
To
him.
Bears.
I did see a clip on him on Instagram once where he threw the ball to one of the players, and I swear to God, he threw the ball better than most players. I was like, dang, that coach did. He should play for the Raiders.
No, Pico's out there running around with the players and tackling them and
Yeah.
having fun with them. So
Being
he's a
in his
he's a player's
70s and
coach.
being able to do that, like I think from my opinion, just watching him play around with the Raiders as a 70-some-year-old man, I think that right there shows how good of a coach he's going to be, because he's willing to get out there and play around with them.
Yeah.
He's not like,
So-
oh, do this and push them away.
So we know the Gruden of this last era, right? Of the nice Gruden. I remember the stank face Gruden. You know what I'm saying? Where nobody even liked to approach Gruden. You know what I'm saying? Because he was always pissed off, always mad, always had the Chucky face. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Pete is the polar opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a fun coach to be around. He's a teacher. He loves to, literally a teacher, professor. You know what I'm saying? And he loves the game. Not saying that Gruden didn't love the game, but he just loves it. You see him out there with the gloves, with the receiver gloves and all that. That's like a young dude kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But he's still young at heart. So I'm excited.
You played for Gruden because people were scared of him, right? He was going to throw shit at you. He was going to throw helmets around, right? He was going to make dudes run. Like that's the kind of dude Gruden was, and he wasn't going to play. So, they respected him, but they feared him. Pete Carroll, they want to play for him because they want to see him win, right? They respect the hell out of Pete Carroll. He's, he like most of the dudes, I'm sure, look up to him like a grandpa, I guess, with his age. Some of these, 20-year-old kids, and so I mean, who's not going to want to go out there and grind for your grandfather? Like I'd kill for mine.
Right.
So
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a story right quick because Pete Carroll was coaching for the Seahawks. I forgot the team he was playing. He walks after I think they lost, but he walks across to the sideline, shake hands, all that stuff do after a game. He walks to a player and he asks, "How's your son?" I forgot his name. Jack's doing. Hey, your wife's okay. I heard she was in a little incident. He went to other players, and that's about their family.
Yep.
That's how Pete Carroll is. He's all about people, not the team. He's about people. And that's made Pete Carroll great for this team because we never had a people person like that before.
Facts.
I bet Gruden didn't care. He didn't give a dang how your dog was doing or your sister's
Exactly.
graduation.
Y'all remember the Gruden on the sideline of Hard Knocks? He said, "Some of y'all into dreams, right? Winning Super Bowls, winning playoffs. I'm into making fucking nightmares."
Yeah.
That was the Gruden. That was the Gruden that got people to play, right? When you got dudes yelling, screaming like that, they're like, "Oh, yo, let's go, right?" Like, get out there trying to hit somebody.
Rebel,
The only thing I knew about Gruden back then was that my uncle was like, "Oh," I was like, "Who's that guy?" He's all, "Oh, that's John Gruden. That's coach of the Buccaneers." Because my uncle is a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Like he has a terrible towel. He used to literally have a statue of Tom Brady, a little wooden one, in his house, and he'd be like, "This is my best friend." I'm like, "You are insane." My uncle was insane, like full on cardboard statue that sat in his living room. And my aunt was like, "I'm getting rid of this." He's like, "No, I'll divorce you." Like literally, it was crazy. So I was asking him, and he was like, "Oh, that's the." I was like, "That guy's cute."
Okay, right quick, we gotta do a PSA right quick. We are hour in. We'll do a PSA. Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Me and Raider Nation Jasin. We have special guests here. We got HawaiianKandie and we got Raider Rebel. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to all our channels, hit the notifications, and just watch our shows. So just want to put that out there. And go ahead.
Oh, and you were asking Rebel something. Sorry.
Oh,
no, I was putting a PSA out there. Just make sure everybody likes, subscribe to all our channels.
Is it my turn for my 5 or 10 players?
It's your turn.
Hey, no Rebel. I'm gonna give you the mic. Hold
an
on.
An hour in.
I'm gonna give you the
an
mic.
hour in, I finally get to talk. I'm gonna make mine easy. It's very, very simple.
Raider Rebel, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. To me, I mean, I don't want to go too old school because I've been alive, for the Super Bowls. I became a fan at a very, very, very young age. I'm 50, so I'd say my whole life. But so to me, the guys that I seen watching that inspired the hell out of me was, Jim Plunkett, obviously, Charles Woodson, obviously, Howie Long, Marcus Allen, and Tim Brown. Like, I mean, those were the the guys that I listened to, everything they said. Anytime, they was anywhere trying to sign autographs or doing anything, or anytime, when I was a kid in LA, they were on the field or signing autographs, or when they allowed us in practice, I was trying to get down there. That's who I was trying to get autographs from. That's who I wanted to see play. And so those were my guys. Like, I think every one of those guys are epitome of what it means to be a Raider, right?
You still got 3 minutes. Do you want to keep on?
I got 3 minutes. I was trying to make it short.
You said 5, so you got 3 minutes.
I mean, we can go on and on, but guys that I think helped this team, of course, are guys like Derek Carr, which a lot of people hate, but he was the face of the franchise for a long, long time. It's not his fault. Del Rio, was fired and the team was blown up. It wasn't his fault that he broke his leg and didn't get to play in the playoffs, right? And I think a lot of people hold that against him. So, Derek Carr was one of my favorite players. Still is. I think he should retire a Raider. I think the Raiders should be picking up the phone and being like, man, just come. I think Mark Davis owes it to him. And, so I want to see that. And I mean, we can go on and on about, guys like Jerry Porter, like Ronald Curry, like Michael Crabtree, Charlie Garner when he came here, McFadden. So, I mean, pretty much anybody that's worn the silver and black, that's still a part of the silver and black, right? Those are the guys that I still, look up to, that I'm still a fan of, but mainly I'm a fan of the Shield. I've just always, I try not to get attached to too many players. And I think, guys like I mentioned, we're pretty much, in the building, around the building, still around the building. Once a Raider, always a Raider. They're trying to give advice, help the team grow, help the players in the building. So, I respect the hell out of that. And that's what, makes me a Raider fan. Obviously, that 83 team was just nasty, right? It was, you had speed. You had two crazy, insane running backs. You had, a quarterback that didn't get much respect, didn't do much until, he came into the right team and the right system, offensive line that would protect him and just let the man throw the ball and plunk it. So, those years are coming, man. Hang in there, Raider Nation. I hate it for, kids, my son's age, 23, 24 years old, that their whole life they've, never seen nothing. 2021, you get to the playoffs, you lose. 2016, all hopes are ended on one player's injury. And I will say this, at least, if we do get something like that and something happens to Geno, I have a lot more faith in our backup quarterback than the backup quarterback we had when Derek Carr got hurt, right? So I think this team has.
That would be Collins, yeah.
yeah. So I have a lot more faith in the depth, I think, than some people. I have a lot more faith in Pete Carroll. Like Chewy said, like we've stated, Pete Carroll's a winner, bro. He comes in right away and he wins. He's done it in Seattle. He done it with the Jets. He did it, with the Patriots. He did it at USC. He's, one of only 3 coaches in the history of football to win a national championship and a Super Bowl. So things like that matter, right? You're like,
I think it was 4. I think it was 4 total, but yeah, you're right. Not that many coaches done it.
Yeah. I mean, that's shit that matters. That's somebody that has a blueprint. He shows that it doesn't matter, what his roster is, who his players are, how much they get paid. He has the blueprint. He knows what he needs. He knows the style of guys he needs. And I think, Raider Nation just needs to step back and, pump the brakes a little bit and let this team show what they can do in the preseason. Because I think a lot of people are going to be shocked that our defense is a lot better than they think. Our offense is a lot better than they think. because Pete Carroll knows what he's doing, bro. We have the coaches. Like I said, our linebacker coach has played with Pete Carroll for 13 years, dude. He's coached with Pete Carroll for 13 years. Tell me anybody in the history of the NFL that's probably, I can't find any because I've looked and looked, a coach that's had the same coordinator for 13 years. That's a long time. Him and Pete Carroll know each other. He's going to help Patrick Graham's defense because he can help, Patrick Graham with what Pete Carroll's trying to get through, right? What Pete Carroll's trying to teach. So I think having a guy like that, on your defense that knows Pete Carroll probably better than anybody in the field, people are sleeping on what this coaching staff can bring. A lot of people say we were trash last year. This team was not trash. You do not compete in the games that we competed in, right? We were trash in the third quarter. And you can go back and, watch every single game last year. It fell apart in the third quarter. Every game fell apart in the third quarter. We were in it till then, and I don't know, what happened in the third quarter is like everybody just had the life sucked out of them. Maybe it was bad coaching, bad play calling. I don't know what it was, but we had a good team. We still were decent with injuries, right? We played against a team that went 12-15-2 last year, right? We took that team to the brink of fucking destruction. Sorry, my language on Sunday, but we had Kansas City on the ropes except for a bot snapped, right? Like, so this team wasn't bad, right? Everybody says, oh, they were 4-13, they were trash. Your record doesn't show the heart in your team. The record doesn't show the camaraderie in the team. The record doesn't show the belief and the faith and the locker room that these guys have in each other. That record doesn't reflect that to me, right? That reflects a team that was beat down, that was injury ridden, right? We had our captain of the ship sidelined, half the season, and Max Crosby. We had Christian Wilkins go out in week 5. We had, Nate Hobbs in and out of the lineup, Malcolm Kuntz in and out of the lineup. And somehow we still stayed in games, right? We didn't get destroyed in a lot of games. I think maybe 3 or 4 games we got, dog walked and got our asses handed to us. But most of them, were close until the third quarter. They got stretched the hell out. And then even in the fourth quarter, we started to come back in some of those games with quarterbacks like Aiden O'Connell, who everybody hates, quarterbacks like Gardner Minshew, which we should have never even brought in, Ritter, like, somehow this team had 2,000-yard receivers. That's not a trash ass team. You find me any trash team that was 4-13 in the NFL that had a rookie tight end have over 1,200 yards and break every single record in the history of the NFL. Find me a team. Find me a quarterback that that has a receiver that everybody says is a number 2 receiver that is now a number 1 receiver that has 1,000 yards and 0 drops. But that's a trash team. Like this, they're sleeping on this team. And I think that's why we are talked about all the time. Not bad like we were last year. We are talked about on every ESPN network, every NFL network, look in every paper. Every sleeper team is the Las Vegas flipping Raiders. And there's a reason. Pete Carroll, there's a reason, right? Spytek has brought in guys. He's been in winning organizations. Spytek has never been in losing organizations. When he was with the Broncos, they were winning Super Bowls, right? When he was with Indy or where they're winning Super Bowls, right? Then he goes to Tampa Bay and brings in Tom Brady. They're winning Super Bowls. This man knows how to win. Pete Carroll knows how to win. Tom Brady knows how to win. When you put all that together, this team is scary. And I think, a lot of people are sleeping on it. I think we're going to get the best out of our defensive line. If they stay healthy, we're going to get the best out of our backs, the best out of our linebackers, and they're going to shock the world. Like now, some crazy ass dude went and bet $25,000 that they win the Super Bowl. If he wins that bet and they win the Super Bowl, which is crazy.
25,000?
We bet 25,000, bro. $25,000. Now that I thought I was crazy at 12-5, but bro, you're talking 25 grand. He just put on the Raiders to win the Super Bowl. Does he know something we don't know? I mean, is he tied into the NFL? Right? Does this dude work for one of these betting organizations? Like, who is that? Like, come on.
Sorry, you know what? My Nightbox is an idiot. I gotta get rid of that guy. I don't know. He's banning people on my chat. I don't know. My Nightbox. I gotta get rid of that guy. I gotta fire somebody else.
You can't even say Nightbot's name.
I don't
Yeah.
even know how
This
Nightbots
Nightbot's
work.
going crazy on my channel. Like,
Yeah,
goddamn
bro,
it.
he is touchy. He's touchy. Like he
Yeah.
must
Hey,
have
it's
the
somebody
Nightbot?
somebody
What's the
pissed the
Nightbot,
Nightbot?
this
Nightbot
might be your
wings.
last show.
Yeah, I
Your last show, bro.
thought I
Oh, wait,
was grumpy
Nightbot's
and
an
mean.
actual
Goddamn,
person?
Nightbot,
Hey,
take it easy.
if y'all want to see Nightbot walk the plank, no matter whose chat you're in, can we get a one in the chat? One in the chat.
Arr.
If
Wait,
y'all want to
Nightbot's a
see
person?
Nightbot
Yeah.
walk the
Nightbot's
plank,
definitely trying to
Nightbot's
warm
a
up here.
person? I thought Nightbot was like
Yeah.
something that you activated to go be like a fake little bot.
Yeah, I'm about to
It
get
is
rid of
Blondie.
Nightbot.
I'm on Nightbot.
I want
Activate.
subscriptions. I don't want to
Right.
kick
Nightbot
everybody out.
activate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
have to
literally thought it was like some setting you can change.
It is, bro. We're gonna have to reprogram.
Okay, but
that
I don't
thing.
know anything about that shit. I
yeah.
don't use. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah,
I
don't
don't
you
use
know
those
what?
No.
things.
If you don't know, don't worry about it because Nightbot's a nightmare right now.
I have enough mods that ban people on accident the wrong time sometimes. Anyway,
Yeah,
none of my mods
to
come in anymore. They don't like me.
I'm at to take Nightbot and give him a timeout in the back of the barn with a belt because dude,
Right?
chill out.
Unplug him. Unplug him.
That sounds
Yeah,
like
Nightbot,
a
we
good time
talked
for the
about
wrong person.
Yeah.
Usually,
Yeah.
usually it's hero trolling the chat piano. Now it's Nightbot.
He was all right. I don't mind him, but
I don't know where Hero went. He was there for
he's
a
not
minute.
as bad as he used to be, but you
Nightbot
know,
trolling the hell out of the chat.
So I think Piano Man ain't as bad because everybody's almost kicked him out of their channel. Like
I
not
did.
very. I haven't kicked him out, but I know a lot of people have because he just says stupid stuff sometimes.
well, we gave Piano Man an opportunity on me and Jeff's show a couple of times, dude. Come on in our channel. You want to show your face? You can actually come in there and just do this. You know,
I
you
told him
come in,
too. I
you
told
got to
him,
show your face. You can talk and then shoot your facts. Go ahead. We will welcome you.
I told him
Come
he
in.
can come on my channel anytime.
come
He's
in,
all, "You
defend
don't know
yourself,
enough Raiders
say what
stuff."
you got to say. But
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, man, that's how I feel, bro. I think like this team is slept on. This coaching staff is an experienced coaching staff. You know, a lot of guys in the building have won Super Bowls. We have a couple of coaches that have been head coaches. If you look at the Washington Redskins and how they turned that team around, right? They brought in an offensive coordinator who had been a head coach in the NFL. He wasn't a head coach that had made it to the playoffs or won a Super Bowl like Chip Kelly, right? But he was the offensive coordinator in the NFL. Then you bring in, you still got Joe Philbin in the building. Somebody else in that building is, besides Pete Carroll, I can't think of has won a Super Bowl. But I think we have 3 or 4 coaches, that have been in a Super Bowl or won a Super Bowl in the building. And when you have that, it shows. The Washington Redskins last year had, their running back coach had was on a coaching staff where he had won a Super Bowl. They brought in, Cliff Kingsbury, who had been in the building. Somebody else on that, had won a Super Bowl. So when you bring those guys in that have won Super Bowls and they're, only focused on one position, I think that it changes a lot of things. It brings guys together. And like I said, Pete Carroll, when he's going to bring, what he knew in Philly with Michael Vick.
I'm going to cut you off. I'm sorry about that, but I got to say something about that. Who's the head coach of the Washington Commanders / Redskins?
Yeah,
Who's their coach?
It's Dan Quinn. It's a
where did Dan Quinn come from?
Pete Carroll tree. It's a Pete Carroll tree.
There you go.
And where did he learn how to get guys to, come in and compete and win in the first year and buy into what he was preaching? It was from Pete Carroll. So that's what I'm saying. Like in the Commanders, if you go back and look at that team, compare their team last year to our team, before preseason, or I guess the 2023 team, their roster compared to ours, man, you would think that there was no way they could compete with any team in the NFL. And all they did was, draft one of the best quarterbacks, probably maybe in the history of the NFL already. And Jaden Daniels, the kid is nasty. They bring in that guy. They already had a guy like Terry, McMillan in the building, Terry McMillan, who might not be there for long, but they've already had that dude who's had 1,000 yards every season except for his rookie year, which he missed it by like 6 yards. When you have guys like they had a running game. So, you had Jeremy Chin on defense. It's like now he's over on our team. So, I think there's a reason they won, right? There's a reason they won. And a lot of it had to do with Dan Quinn's coaching style that he got from Pete Carroll. So, I feel this team is talked about as a sleeper for a reason. Like things could go real.
Let me ask the panel and the chat. At the beginning of last year's season, did you even think about the Commanders making the playoffs and actually like 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns away from a Super Bowl? Did anybody think that?
Nope.
Did what?
I know I didn't.
The Commanders, what they did last season.
See, I
Washington-
didn't really
Washington.
follow any of
Because
that.
it was Philadelphia, then there was the Cowboys. Those are all the two teams that were predicted to make the playoffs. Cowboys, of course, didn't do anything. But other than that, I knew that they drafted James Daniels, a real quarterback, so they gonna probably kick a couple years. But did you predict them to do what they did? They were only a touchdown or two away from making the Super Bowl.
Yep,
Yeah,
and
that's pretty
I believe every ranking last year, because as a content creator, that's what we do. We go over all this shit and we break them down on our lives. And I believe every ranking that I broke down, the Raiders, of course, were dead last, had us last and everything. But the Commanders were, third in their division. They were predicted, to have a 20th, I think, offense last year, which they
I saw
totally
that.
crushed that. Yeah. So, and their defense was, in the 20s also. So they weren't predicted to do nothing. They were predicted to be third in their division. And yeah, granted, Dak Prescott got hurt in the Cowboys, but would it really have mattered? I don't feel so. I think so.
I think I look at the prediction they had Cowboys 1, Eagles 2, then the Redskins, and then Giants, of course,
And
did
then,
last. So that's how they predicted, but it went totally opposite.
Yep.
So Red Nation, be patient because that can happen to us. We can turn around and be 12-5, like Rebel said, 12-5. I'm with that, but I'm more or less a 10-7 guy.
I was gonna say
and make the
I'm
playoffs.
about 10-7 or 11.
Now I'm with that. No, they predicted us to win 7 games. Yeah, last year they had us winning 6. I went $1,000 of my hard-earned money. Well, with hard-earned, I'm retired or whatever. But I put
it was still
$1,000
earned though.
I said 6.5. Oh shit, we'll win more than that with AP. Oh, we'll more than that. Yeah, guess what? I'm $1,000 short.
Yep. But that,
So
You might bring it back up this year though.
if that defense stayed healthy, though, and they went with Aiden O'Connell, I think you would have won that money. That
Yeah, I would
no
have.
problem. No problem.
Exactly.
No problem.
Exactly. If Aiden O'Connell would start the season and the defense would stay healthy and Adam Butler didn't jump on back of Christian Wilkins' back, we probably won more than 4 games. Well, I know we won more 4 games.
Raiders.
To piggyback off what Candy said, if Antonio Pierce wasn't so janky, because remember he came in here janky. Remember he had just got the college whatever. I'm putting the extras on it, but like the college thing, he had got he was about to get suspended over there or whatever too.
Yep.
So came over here, and he was short on his money. So he started betting on us losing. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
I honestly, I'm under that conspiracy. I really think like maybe he paid somebody to do something. And I know if they did enough research, you don't. This is how, like, think about how it is. Like, who does not kick a field goal when? And I know you said it's bad coaching, but a person like me who don't know nothing about football would have told them to kick a field goal. So why would the coach not do it? And why would, like you said, Aiden O'Connell turn? Who are you talking to? They're not right here. So
He's talking to 3 different people. He's talking to 3 different
Well, that's
people.
what I'm saying. He would turn and you know what I mean? He turned, and why would they throw the ball when he turned? You know what I mean? That was the thing.
Hey,
It was like
maybe Aiden had a Chandler Jones moment just for a second. It was like, I don't know.
I hear voices in my head.
Right? He's like, Belichick.
He's like, what's that wrestler Randy Orton? Voices in my head.
Right?
McDaniel,
Jones though.
McDaniel still had the Bluetooth. He still had the Bluetooth information, so
God,
he was
right?
able
He
to
was
get in
like,
there.
"Hey."
It's the Aiden throw. Hike it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like when your offensive coordinator is in your ear and he's not even on the sideline, bro. Like
That's what I'm saying.
the guy's up in the booth, so like
he would have looked up
to be he'd been having to flip, do a back bend to look at him or turn completely around, right?
Exactly.
Like you got turning a 180. Like so,
I'm gonna give an invalid reason what happened because
that was just dumb.
Had Jonathan Daniels was like the voice of everybody's head, like Then we fired him. Then we fired him. Then not Justin Daniels. Who's the coordinator? Oh, Getsy. Getsy was calling stupid ass plays, and like the AOC's out there like, well, we lost this idiot. Who do I listen to? Well, I don't know what to do. Like you go kindergarten. She's kindergarten, first, second grade. She's right. 2 + 3, and one kid say, wait a minute, it's the same as 3 + 2. I don't know which one is right. So he didn't know what to listen to.
Right.
Aiden should have just did what Minshew is. Just throw towards the sideline, and I'm sure you'll get somebody.
Oh no,
it's the fact that he
wasn't that how we got the
didn't
pick 6 at the goal line against Denver? Just turn and throw it.
I don't know. I
Turn and
still
throw?
it still doesn't make sense that he would turn to the he turned to the right like he was gonna catch the ball over here. His hands are even like this.
Yeah,
it was like, why'd you
that
turn
whole
this way with
play
your hands? Like it was just it didn't make sense. Like
boggles
I was like,
my
that game's
mind.
been thrown. That game's been
But
thrown.
it worked out. And we got Ashton Genty, so let's
There you go.
So-
There you go.
so
If
who-
we won
so
that game,
who-
we got Genty. If we
so
won
who-
that game, we
maybe
got
that's
Genty.
why they threw it. Maybe
who-
that's why they threw it because
I
they
don't
knew that
think-
they'd get
on this
Genty.
I'm not on a boat where Raiders were tanking because they were tanking. This should have been 0-17 and got everybody. No,
We
I'm not
tried.
aboard that. We
Nah,
sucked.
bro, that's
Period.
not-
We tried.
Uh,
It's just a
I'm
couple
so-
teams were sorrier than we were at that moment.
And Ashton Genty, of course, hasn't proven himself. You know, some say he's not going to be that dude that he was in college. I disagree. I think this dude's a bowling ball. You know, he reminds me of that Maurice Jones-Drew with a little bit of LT to him, right? He's got that speed and quickness that he can turn on those jets. He can make guys miss, you know, right? I've seen him jump cut. People's like, he has no twitch. What do you mean the kid has no twitch? Like, I've seen that dude jump cut and leave guys, you know, face first in the dirt over and over again, hurdling guys, right? Like, the kid is athletic as hell for his size. So, you know, if Ashton Genty could come out and be that dude, I think the Raiders have something special here, right? The Raiders really.
Yeah, but Rebel, we're missing one key factor. One key factor in this whole conversation. Genty don't have to go to court. No, Genty will have to go to court next weekend. So we have to go to court next weekend. So, you know, we dodged a bullet with John. I wanted junkies like you did. I wanted junkies too. One of the Ohio State running backs, but at least we had to worry about that because if you notice that we're not in media, like I said earlier, we're not in the news. That's good. There's nobody being stupid like DUIs and all that stuff. Nobody being stupid.
So Sean Knowles
That's
over
discipline.
here says
That's
Gino,
discipline.
Sean Knowles over here says Gino isn't taking us to the playoffs. Sorry, but that's the truth. No, but Pete Carroll might and AOC might and the rest of the team might help him take us to the playoffs. So that's all that matters. One person does. This is the thing. There is no I in team. One person cannot take you to the playoffs. The whole team has to take you to the playoffs.
Yep.
So with them all working together on that note, yes, they will.
There's 22 players at one given time on the field. So, yeah, it takes a team. There's no I in team.
Gino don't have to do everything. Gino has to do two things: throw the ball,
catch the ball,
and don't turn the ball over. That's simple. He's got two things. That's it. Don't and you know, try not to take 50 sacks this year, but maybe 3 things. But you know, I'll stick with the 2. Just throw the ball and don't create turnovers, and the rest of the team's going to do the rest. Right? This offensive line is young. You know, with Chip Kelly, I think they're gonna surprise some people also. But if you just look at the weapons, like it's been a long time since the Raiders have had 2 guys that run a 4.3 40, right? So when you have that, there's not a lot of defenses that are going to be able to hang with these guys. If they're running completely deep, most of the time you have a guy on them, you know, at least 10, 15 yards. They might release him to the safety. You know, depending on who that guy is, they might double team him. So that's taking 4 guys away right there. Just if those 2 guys are on the field.
We got super chat for we got super chat for. I think it might be on your station.
Yeah, it says no. Daddy in the caddy says no homo, but that bald head so shiny and beautiful.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Chris, you got fans over there.
He's got fans of the head.
Thanks a lot.
Get him, Daddy in the caddy.
Gotta love it. Daddy
thanks a lot. Appreciate it. That's why I didn't get super chat, but thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
He was talking backstage. He was talking about how he was waxing it before he came on. He got ready.
Hey! Don't give all my secrets. Stop. Yeah, but like you said, Rebel.
Oh man.
The one thing we have to do is keep the offense on the field longer than 3 and out.
They just asked if Rebel ever played in the NFL. No, he didn't. No, he looks like a football player.
You see what I'm saying, Rebel? That's our main goal. To keep the offense on the field. Stop going 3 and out. Where the defense has to, soon they make a stop. Yeah, okay. The offense get back. And then before they sit down and have a drink of Gatorade or water, They gotta go right back on the damn field.
Ooh.
That was our problem last year. 3 and outs, interception, 3 and outs.
Rebel might know about football, but he definitely does not look like a football player.
I mean, look at Renfro though. You can't, you know what I mean? Remember Hunter Renfro?
Yeah.
He didn't look like a football player,
I
but
don't
we
know what
know
he looks like. I don't know.
we know Hunter was a football,
Right.
The famous number 13 for the Raiders.
Oh yeah, that was
third.
that one guy that they got rid of last year or whatever.
They didn't get rid of
Renfro.
him.
Yeah,
Or
our
he
second
went-
wide receiver.
He left or whatever.
They didn't
Yeah,
resign him.
our-
He's signed right now
our-
with the Carolina Panthers.
I hope he
number
doesn't.
2.
Man, I don't want to see him do good. I mean, I want to see him do good, but I just don't want to see him help another team. Like that's gonna suck. I hate that.
Yeah, well, they're in the AFC, they're in the NFC, so I can care less what you do over there.
Yeah, but you never know. You never know. They could be
Take
one of
my
those sleeper
hat off.
teams. Like maybe their quarterback bust out. Bryce Young might, could
Well,
have
hey, remember when they were
year.
they were sleeping on Bryce Young last year, and they were talking about trading him. I was like, damn, that would have been nice if we could have kind of traded him for, got him for the low, you know what I'm saying, and then let him develop behind, Gino or whatever. But
Now tell me something. Look at that picture where he's smiling. He like one of those door-to-door salesmen, or one of the guys that call you. How is your insurance? Are
He
you
looks
happy
like
with
a
your
car
long-distance
salesman.
carrier?
Let me sell you this car. How would you like
ask
this car,
Derwin
sir?
James.
Used car salesman.
Right.
Ask Derwin James, does he sell insurance?
Right.
Man, you gotta get rid of the Nightbot. We're losing people.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of that damn thing. I'm trying to get
Block the
that
Nightbot.
Yeah.
now.
I
It's
checked
Nightbot.
Nightbot last show. We
Yeah, I
had
gotta
we had
redo
another
him.
talk.
Yeah,
It's
I was
Nightbot.
on you guys last time, and he started talking shit.
Oh,
He was
yeah, he
like,
said
"Rebel,
you
no
were-
spam in the chat." I was like, "Well, I'll smack your mouth."
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Like, what the hell? He didn't even say anything. Matter of fact, last night somebody came in and spilled Raiders Capitals, and Nightbot just kicked him out. Like, what the hell, man? Come on.
Yeah.
I think like Nightbot is a real live Charger fan in real life.
Yeah, or a Queefs fan or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something
He's gonna
going
kick
on.
out the Raiders fans.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't even
Yeah,
say
get rid of
Raiders on the.
fan. Yeah, say Raiders, you get the boot. Come on, man. Come on.
Well, good morning. Like,
I
oh,
just
stop
got
it.
here, no emoji, no problem.
Yep. I was trying to have a talk with Nightbot. You can't even say Nightbot's name without it tripping. It in fact, it timed me out on my own live yesterday, which is crazy.
I know, he
How does
probably
that
put me
happen?
on time. He probably blocked me. Like, what?
It's
I'm
those
your
AIs,
boss.
man. Those AIs are taking over.
Maybe Nightbot's a female and has maybe that 1 week a month where it just don't like nobody. I don't know. Yeah.
Ooh,
Well,
okay.
this is
I don't
the
know.
thing,
Maybe I should
Yeah.
go and wax my head before we get
Yeah,
nice.
you
and
might
shiny.
want to check your Nightbot. It might have an issue.
Soldier, everybody that has bought the videos knows otherwise. There you go.
Let's see.
Renfro
Renfro
just
deserves
come back. I hope he has a chance. Greatness. You know what? I like Renfro. He wasn't fit for the team because Josh McDaniels didn't do crap with him. You know, he could have done something like he did with the other guys and the Patriots. But when he got here, Renfro totally disappeared. Totally. Because it's always third down Renfro. But yet, he didn't even use him. Because I think Renfro is like I call a street football player. He don't run routes, but he'll run to get open. And since he didn't run the exact route that Josh McDaniels wanted, he stopped using them.
Yeah, that's why Carr's not here too. Jack McDaniels an ego, Dick Daniels ego thing. But Renfro would have been nasty in this offense, yo. Like Geno Smith has a quick release, right? So he gets the ball out fast when he needs to. He could throw the ball in 2.2 seconds or whatever. I think his average time to throw last year was 2.7 seconds, which was like second or third or fourth in the NFL.
2.63, something like that.
Yeah.
So releases.
So he's got to get the ball out quick. And when you got a weapon like Renfro, short, fast, that can get open because he's twitchy as hell, and then make those catches and then yards after the catch. So I think he would have helped this offense. But I think we got a guy like that in Tommy Mellott. That's kind of why they went and got that guy. And I think we're going to see a little bit more of Tommy Mellott than people believe, in certain situations or maybe a lot of situations, like because, not probably right in the beginning of the season, but later, as he gets more time in the offense, because the guy's an athlete. If you look at his athlete numbers, bro, they're off the charts in every single category. So it's a guy that he was so good. They didn't have a quarterback. They put him at quarterback. So, it wasn't even his position. They're just like, hey, can you play quarterback? He's like, I'll try. And I think they ended up, going to the national championship game in their division or whatever. So, like Tommy Malot's an athlete, bro, and all I hear and read on this kid is nothing but good. Like the fans loved him, right? The people around him, he was selling out stadiums just for people to come watch this kid play with his athleticism at quarterback. So we got a lot of sleepers that, a lot of reasons. They said Spytek and Pete Carroll had this guy on their radar the whole time, but they let nobody know because they didn't want anybody to take him. So how good is Tommy Malott, right? If you have a guy like Pete Carroll and Spytek, when Spytek's been around, like I said, a lot of teams and drafted a lot of high caliber players. So if you got a guy like Spytek and Chip Carroll and Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly, we're salivating at the mouth to bring this guy in the building and not let anybody know that's who they were trying to get. I think it says a lot to this kid's athleticism and what they believe he can be to this team, kind of like that Hunter Renfrow, Wes Welker type guy.
Well, Tom Lott actually was a receiver, and they made him at quarterback. I guess it was an emergency, and he did good. He wasn't as good as throwing the ball as a quarterback, but boy can run. That's why he's on first team kickoff return, punt return. So he's going to make their team one way or the other. As a slot receiver, maybe some situations Chip Kelly put him in there, but right now they got. I think they should have did that a couple years ago, put Jacoby Myers as slot receiver because he did great as a slot receiver when he was with the Patriots. Although he did us a favor by throwing that interception, but he did great as slot receiver as a Patriots. So he got him in the slot.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, that's one of the problems that they're looking at our offense is what you just said. And if you look at our offense, you got Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers, Jack Beck, all slot guys, right? Tommy Malott, like all slot guys. The only guy that really is a threat on the outside is Dante Thornton. So if Dante Thornton Jr. isn't the guy we expect him to be, this offense might struggle. Like who are you going to put on the outside? Back Trey Tucker back out there? I think he was better on that inside. So we don't have a lot of guys to play on the outside. You can put Jacoby anywhere, you can put Trey anywhere, but their best position and where they excel the most is slot receiver. Are we going to put Jack Besh on the outside and Thornton, both rookies, to start? Like I don't believe that. So
that's the beauty of it.
Who's going to be on the outside?
Rebel, that's the beauty of it all. We got these guys. We can put them anywhere on the field. We get like, okay, this guy line. Let's give the defensive coordinators nightmares. Let's have them have a fucking Costco bottle of Tums sitting there like, what am I do? What am I do? Because now you're going to move up guys around. You got Brock Bowers. Defense going to watch him. You got Genty in the backfield. Safety can't play up because you got a guy 4-3. You got another guy that probably can run 4-4 on the outside. Then you got Jacoby in the slot. Okay? Then you got Josh Best might come in there and take a Tucker spot and do that. So that's the beauty of it. We don't depend on just one guy. One guy to do everything.
Javier Marino just said trade Max Crosby for cap space and third. Hell no, we ain't trading Max. You're crazy.
Who said that?
Nope.
Javier Marino. He says trade. He said if we what did he say? He said
oh, there you go. I missed that chat. Yeah, oh, I got it.
Well, right before that, he was saying if Chip Kelly is our OC, y'all are cooked.
Yeah, I put that up there. That's fine.
And he says if you trade Max, no, we are not trade Max. Max is a Raider, always a Raider, gonna stay a Raider.
Yeah,
it's the NFL though. You never know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's just the time when over the wire will be like, man, they just traded Max Crosby.
Right.
What the hell? Like,
yeah, as soon as we get off, like, oh, Max Crosby was traded, like, huh? To the Chiefs.
Right
like,
after we say that, they're like, "Why'd you say that, Candy? You
but for four first round picks."
But, let me say this, right? Like, just say something, like Max isn't that dude after the ankle, surgery, whatever, or say Max, say Malcolm Kuntz, which in 9 games had 8 sacks, right? 2 years ago. what if Malcolm Kuntz comes out and has a better year than Max Crosby? People are gonna be like, well, it was because Max Crosby got double teamed and triple teamed, and he was free one-on-one or whatever. But are you gonna start thinking like, do you lose Malcolm Kuntz because you only paid him for a 1-year deal? And if he has a better year than your star, pass rusher, do you really let him walk? Or you think like, damn, what do we got? What are you looking at? Right? Is it 20 mil or you want 20 mil a season or we keep paying this dude, 33, 34, 36 next year. And then, after 2 years, he has no guaranteed money again. So I think Spytek, threw that contract in. Same with Gino. They all the contracts they've worked so far this year has been, in a year or two, if they don't, if things don't work out or something happens to a player, they can move on. So I really like what Spytek's doing, contract wise, but there is a possibility that Malcolm Kuntz, with the defensive line we have, right, with the fact that Max Crosby's going to get a lot of double teams, and who do we have on the interior to eat up those double teams, right, to try to chip those guys off of Max to get them open. And we know Malcolm Kuntz, if he's 100% healthy, he's got that nasty bend, he's got that same speed, that power. He can beat you in a lot of ways. And if he's one-on-one, he's going to murder people. So there's that possibility also. I'm a huge Malcolm Kuntz fan. Like,
someone just said the Jaguars are a team to watch out for.
Jaguars.
I mean, yeah,
in a couple years.
In a couple years, maybe, but they got Liam Cohen. You don't know what Liam Cohen is, right? Like, he was the offensive coordinator in a team that Spytek was on, right? With a good coach that's still there, in a damn good system, with a quarterback, that was mobile, in Baker Mayfield, right? A guy that threw 41 touchdowns last year, but 16 interceptions. So he kind of gives you that Geno edge where he's going to throw a lot of touchdowns, but he's also going to throw a whole lot of interceptions. At least his was, way more and not the other way around with our quarterback. But yeah, that's how I feel.
Well, I said we got a quarterback that can actually throw the ball, get it downfield, and not panic. Because one thing you watch Geno Smith, they say, hey, we got a running quarterback and got a pocket. Well, that meant you ran into the damn sacks. I saw him running and ran right into a sack.
Yeah,
so we got super chat for
Hey, God First, how are you?
Shout out.
We got super chat for I think it's
Shout
for
out to Daddy and Chatty. I'm wifey material. I know football. Sure, I know football. a little bit.
Good luck on your wedding.
I ain't getting married, bro. No, right? Hell no. For $2, come on.
It's gonna take more than $2, bro.
Well, you got $4 now because someone else just super chat. So now you got $4. So now at least you can buy somebody a parking spot. Well, at least you can buy a parking spot for somewhere 20 minutes. Hey, you can park for 20 minutes here.
The last one he was hitting on you, Chris.
Right. Hey, he likes us both, Chris.
Well, here we go.
I'll share.
I'll be the best man maid of honor shit for $4. Hell yeah, come on, let's do it. Hey, Bueno, what's going on? Welcome to the chat, brother.
Bueno, what it do?
That's my boy right there.
That's hilarious.
I hope you are Bueno. I am not Bueno.
Moderator.
Why did
I am not Bueno.
Oh, he's spamming. Gotta stop spamming, God First. Mods don't like that. Apparently, everybody's getting.
Yeah, so do we all agree that we got to kick Nightbot out completely?
Hold on.
Yes.
Jason, why are you timing everybody
Cut the cord.
out?
Cut the cord.
I think I see Nightbot's on one. That's it, a Nightbot.
No, he's on mine. He's kicking everybody out. Like, what the hell?
Jason, only time out people that are being rude, please. Do not time out people that are just talking in the conversation. Only time out people that are being rude and disrespectful. Please.
Yeah, exactly. You can come in. I don't care what fan you are. I don't care whatever. But if you're being respectful to the panel and to the chat,
disrespectful, that's fine. Time them out. But if they're just spamming, like, I don't know, whatever.
No, you just go to the chat and to the panel. You got to go. But in that, you can talk all you want to. Raiders suck. Yeah, so what we did, but not no more. Get out of here.
Raiders are going to do well this year. I really see it. I think Pete Carroll is going to take us far. I really do. I think they're going to follow him more. I think they're going to, pay attention to his leadership skills. I think they just seem like they're doing better on the field in practice, just following his lead. And I think that's a big importance. You have to respect a coach that you're playing for. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that they didn't
Hey,
respect.
Rosan, welcome to the channel.
I don't think they didn't respect, like, didn't not respect AP, but I think they show. I think they seen him more as like a buddy instead of like a coach.
Thank you,
Well,
Candy. Thank
Yep.
you, Candy. I said this a
really
long
do.
time ago. Whenever you have a head coach of a team, you don't call him by his first name. Out of respect, you call him coach.
Yep.
You don't say,
Yeah.
hey, AP.
Yeah, AP.
I mean, he was a buddy to them. I appreciate that, but he's the boss. You don't go to your job and tell your boss, hey, Jack, what's going on?
Nope.
No.
Say, hey, coach.
You
How's
say
it going?
Mr. Smith. His name's Jack
or
Smith.
hey,
Mr.
coach.
Smith.
Yeah, or Mr. Pierce.
You don't go
yeah.
say, hey, Jack. No. You
Yeah.
get respect
Yep.
for that title until otherwise specified. But they seem like a buddy. I didn't like that, but it wasn't a good culture to have that.
For
Yeah,
sure,
people-
for sure. I feel like, with AP in the building, like you said,
They
more
seen
of
him
a
as, like,
friendship.
friend. Yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't
with
respect
Pete
his
with
authority
Pete
as
Carroll,
much.
it's more of a respecting. But
Mhm.
when
Well,
you
they
have
see him
a
more like a father figure, I
when
think.
when you have a guy like
Yeah.
Antonio Pierce, I don't want to call him AP anymore. When you have a guy like Antonio Pierce, that was a linebacker that had been to the Super Bowl, that had won the Super Bowl,
Mhm.
right? He'd played on those Super Bowl teams, but he'd never done it as a head coach. So when you have guys in the locker room that have done shit a certain way, right? Before he came in and when he came in, or other coaches in the building, right? That coach a certain way. I think maybe they collided and clashed on a bunch of decisions, obviously, with who was going to start at quarterback, or guys like Amari Gaynor, who there's no explanation for why he didn't get on the field, right? When when Diablo was hurt for a bunch of games, it should have been Amari Gaynor, right? He was the best guy in preseason. He showed in all the practices that everybody watched. It was always Amari Gaynor out there, but got no play time. So, and then when it comes to the running back room too, right? You see, guys that you draft like Dylan Labe get one carry and never get touches, but the rest of the running back room was horrible. So why don't you at least give them another shot? So I think when you don't have a blueprint being a head coach, right, and you're trying to tell guys, this is the way it needs to be done and this is how we're going to win, you don't have no proof, you have no backing, right? And guys it's going to be hard to get guys to buy in if you're not winning, right? If you're winning, then guys are going to be like, okay, then this guy knows what he's talking about, this is the way, right? But if you're losing constantly, guys are going to start second guessing if you know what the hell you're doing. If the offense coordinator knows what they're doing, if the schemes are right, if this guy's putting in the right personnel, like I did all year long, right? The teams are going to start guessing that. But when you got a guy like Pete Carroll, you're not going to guess, right? He's proven. He knows he can do it. He's done it not just 1, 2, 3, 4 teams, right? The guy's done it over and over everywhere he goes. And I think that's easier for for guys to buy in a lot quicker and a lot sooner. And I think that's going to be the difference this year mainly.
Well, I think that's the thing is they seen Antonio Pierce as a brother, one of them, one that they didn't see him as leading. They seen him more as being there, and on the field with them and playing again with them. And even though he wasn't, he was still, the attitude that he brought was more like a player. It wasn't like a coach. And, with Pete Carroll, you see it. He's more of a father figure. He's teaching them as he talks to them. They're listening like they're learning. They're focusing like they're learning. They're not like, oh, what's up, brother? They're like, yes, sir. No, sir. Yes. You see that respect. You see the difference in the respect. And that's how much different they're going to show up on the game is they're going to show up to impress their daddy, not a brother. You know what I mean? They're going to show up to impress their daddy. Nobody wants to disappoint your dad. Nobody wants to, make your dad mad. Like that's the one you're like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. You don't want to do that. And that's how they see him as they see him.
Like I said,
as a leader.
grandpa for a lot of them, because he's 74 and most of these kids,
Grandpa,
20s
dad,
20s or 30s. So
yeah, they see him more like a father figure, a grandfather figure, somebody that knows what he's talking about, someone that knows what he's doing, like someone that's been in it, he's done it, he's taken people, I believe, to the Super Bowl, correct?
Twice.
With the Seahawks. Yeah, so he's already shown...
No, he's been in 3. He's been in 3.
Yeah.
But he's already shown leadership skills and leadership skills, and AP showed player skills. He showed, I won a Super Bowl. I've been in the Super Bowl. I've done this, but I don't know how to take others to the Super Bowl because he didn't. He knew he played.
Or he just didn't have the power. That could have been another thing, right?
Well, that's what I mean. Not that he didn't know how. He didn't have the power that people were
Nightbot
looking
kick
for.
Jeff. What?
He didn't have the
Yeah.
power that he didn't have that
Right.
aura of
I get you.
the energy. It wasn't the energy that he brought was more like a friend.
Yeah,
It wasn't like a leader.
Really,
So-
Jack?
So who's
Wait,
the
he had
next
a-
guy?
Hold on, guys. Really, Jack? They kicked Jeff out?
Yeah.
All right, Nightbot's fine. I give Nightbot to
Yeah.
the show. Hey, get out of here.
I disabled my Nightbot, guys. So everybody come back.
How
You
you
know,
disable? How you
I
disable Nightbot?
apologize for Nightbot.
If y'all
Send
are
that-
on my
Nightbot
team,
be
come on in. I
I'm
don't know
gonna just say-
Nightbot, so I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
share the chat. Share the chat to everybody you know that's Raiders fans. Tell them come back. The Nightbot is done.
Everybody in
Yeah,
my
how
chat,
you
show
disable
some love.
Nightbot,
The links are in the bio.
Jason?
It says Nightbot's online, and then I just clicked on that, and then I said, "Leave my channel,
All
Nightbot."
right.
Because if you don't love
Yeah,
my
Nightbot
people, if
Yeah.
you don't love these people that are my family and my everything, then you
Yes.
can't be here. I'm
So
sorry.
Javier Marino says, "What do you think about picking up Keenan Allen?"
Who? Keenan Allen?
Keenan
No,
Allen?
no.
No.
That's a no. That's a dumb down.
No.
The silver and black recommend
Look,
For
look.
$5 million. For $5 million?
Look,
Huh?
the Raiders receiver room is okay. It's fine. It's better than it was last year. We have more receivers there. As far as paying a wide receiver that constantly getting hurt, $5 million. Yeah, why? Why should we do that?
We don't need that.
Plus, you guys remember now, every team has 90 and 91 players on their team. Everybody's not gonna make the roster. So after the cuts, we can pick and choose some guys like, hey, I heard your team cut you. What, you're 6'4", can run a 4.4, and you're a receiver? Come on over here. Or a linebacker that's, hey, you didn't do good to that team because the defensive scheme was fit for your tail to you, but we have a scheme that worked for you. Come over here. We'll pay you $1 million. So we won't need wide receiver. We drafted them, and we're good.
Yep. 1,000%. I think we should just rock with what we got.
Mm-hmm.
See what
I
we got in
just
these young kids.
I just hear a lot of people talking about they need more to the O line. What exactly does that mean?
It's the offensive line.
I know. I mean, but
Yeah.
I know the offensive line. What do they mean?
Yeah.
We don't
What
have
do
a
you
good offensive
need more?
line.
You need better players.
We
obviously.
need
So
to get bigger for one. Like, we're undersized as a line. I know we do a lot of movement and stuff like that, but still we're still getting pushed around. Because like that was the reason we got rid of Andre James. He was always on the ground. That's the reason we're probably going to get rid of Parnham if he doesn't step up this year, because he's always on the ground. Like, you can't defend the quarterback and you can't block if you're on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like we're too small. You got these teams that are building like these 320 pound linemen, like, and it's like you could push all day. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
prejudice,
like
Jeff.
He's
You open
racist, Jeff. You don't like that, guys, Jeff. Sorry, man.
Prejudice, not
sorry.
racist.
I'm sorry, just let me cut you off, but this is
Sorry, man. Keep cooking.
Yeah, no, you good. Yeah, it's not. I officially don't know what color Nightbot is, Jeff,
think
but
that's technically
I hope it's not.
No, I think he's prejudiced.
I'm
towards
sorry,
the
this is a
fact that
Nightbot
it's
show
not
right
racist.
now.
I believe
I'm sorry,
it's
just go ahead.
prejudice.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's right. I'm not bueno. Get him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the offensive line, okay, Candy, offensive line last year was crap because they had the wrong person in the wrong position. They had JPJ playing guard. Okay, he's a center. When they drafted him as a center, he was a dominating center in college.
So they just
Okay,
didn't
I'm
know
playing
how to
guard.
put up the O-line.
Okay, so when usually sometimes he's a center, you usually play guard to learn, especially a rookie. They guard, kind of mix other. But he came in being a center. They put him in guard. They had that new what's the name? Andre Light Ass James, who was on the ground every time you look at him. And so when they put JPJ at guard at center, the offensive line got better. Our weakest points is the two guards, left and right. Because Glaze is a good left or right guard. Colton Miller is a great left guard. Tackle. Glaze is a good left tackle or right tackle, and Glaze is a good.
I've heard.
Colton Miller is a good left
mention-
tackle. Glaze is a good right tackle. Our weakest point is that guard position. Because we had that Cody Whitehair, whatever that bastard's name was. He got pushed. James got pushed.
So we don't have a guard right now.
We do. We
You don't know who.
We
Yeah,
Yeah, we
drafted
just
some guard.
Okay, we just
Yeah,
don't know who they're picking yet.
We got one. We just don't know who it is.
yeah, we got one, and we just hope that they're
It's
really
a
good.
battle. We hope there's a battle for a reason.
Wait, how do you not know? Like they don't announce
There's
who it
there's
is?
3 guys fighting.
We
for a
don't know yet
spot.
till training
Camp.
camp.
It's training camp.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what training camp is. Everybody's
So who
trying
are
to
the
fight for a
3 that's
position.
fighting for the position?
It's
Yeah, what's Meredith?
Darren Parham, Meredith, and now they have
Mumford.
Mumford.
Okay, I think I've
yeah.
heard you talk about Parham and Mumford. I don't know the middle one that you said though.
Well, Mumford actually was a guard at Ohio State. They moved him to tackle last year because that tackle they got hurt. But that's your true position is left guard. That's his actual natural position, left guard. And he played well at that position. I think he's one of college's top guards a couple of years running. But they moved to tackle, and Raiders drafted him as a tackle. They're all right, not good. But now they put him in a guard position.
Okay.
And that guy they drafted, Rogers, is
Aaron Rodgers?
competing against that guy, as that Jeff said, the old fat racist guy. They could Kappa is gonna
Not Aaron Rodgers. It was the other Rodgers, right? The new
Carlos.
guy.
Carlos
Caleb,
Rogers.
Yeah.
Caleb.
Caleb
Rogers.
Rogers.
Yeah,
What's it,
I think
Carlos
Rebel,
Rogers? Sorry, my
Rebel was
bad.
talking about him because he's all
Yeah,
spicy.
they drafted him to play. They drafted him to play guard on the right side, and they got Kappa, who had a bad year last year, but people realized that he played the whole year hurt.
Rebel's hoping they pick Rodgers just so he could buy the jersey and say, "Look, I'm on the team."
No, I think
Well,
he'll
not
play.
his Rebel's last name is Rodgers, so it's funny.
Bro, I didn't know A-Rod. I didn't know A-Rod was your brother, bro. You've been holding out.
No,
That's crazy.
No, he's got a D in his name. We got a G in ours, like me and Caleb.
Okay.
no D. So
No D. Right? He's all holding out on the fam.
Yeah, I was like, damn, man, we can, I know he's not a Raider, but shit, we need A-Rod on here to,
Right?
right?
share some tips.
I
man.
I would already had him on the channel and whatever players that was on his team. Shit. What do you mean?
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah, like just said,
Yeah,
Caleb
family,
started. He started a bye week or sooner. I think he's gonna bail out with Kappa. That's the Kappa had a bad year. Let's just hurt. But
Funny that you think
yeah, I
that.
think Roger probably will start eventually. So that's the only thing we got to work on all our old line is those 2 guard positions. Other than that, we're fine.
Yeah.
Because you guys don't understand, we were ranked 13th. Passing, we were
Are we
13th
fine?
ranked. Oh, wait, hold. We were 13th ranked offensive line last year in passing protection. And the crap of our line was we still were 13 out of 32 teams. So we didn't do bad last year. We just got better.
That's
we
what I'm
didn't
saying.
do
Like,
good either. I'm saying
Yeah.
like we didn't.
Well, okay.
The main thing was
Well,
coaching,
that
though.
was the offensive line. That was whole team dynamics. It was the whole offensive
It was coaching though.
Yeah.
That was our main problem. Like that's
Yeah.
the difference this year is we have guys that have done that. I think Brandon Carroll also. He's worked with his father for 8 years, right? And then you have our offensive, passing game coordinator in Shannon Carroll, who's also worked with his father for like 14 years. So these guys have been around each other. They brought in a lot of coaches that have been around Pete Carroll for over 10 years. That's hard to find in the NFL. The camaraderie, the way these guys know each other, they know what they're trying to get out of these guys. They know how to get what they're trying to get out of the guys. And I think that's it's underestimated, I think, from a lot of people, having guys that know each other that much, that have been on the same teams, right, coaching together for that long. You don't see that much. When you seen that, it was the Patriots, right, who won 6 Super Bowls, right? When you see that, it's teams like KC, right, who's had the same coaching staff for over and over again. How many Super Bowls they went in, right? So that's what I see. We're bringing in guys that are this team's gonna win right away because these guys know each other. They know what they want to do, and they don't have to feel each other out and be like, okay, how do I work with this linebacker coach? How do I my linebacker coach work with my defensive back coach? How is they going to work with the safety coach in Woods? How are all these guys going to put it all together? They've already been together on teams. They've played, they've coached together on teams, so they know how everything works. And I think that's how you build a team, overnight, right? That's how teams like the Commanders were built. A lot of those guys, they knew what they were trying to do. They knew each other. and they, again, come from the same system. So I think that speaks volumes for, you know, how good this team can actually be.
Didn't their
Well,
names used
there's
to be
one
the
thing that one
Washington
thing Pete Carroll didn't do,
Redskins?
like what McDummy did.
Did they
He
used to
came
be
in
the
there, took a
Redskins?
playoff team, and completely gut the
Yeah.
whole damn team, gutted it out. Pete Carroll didn't gut the team. We got players like, yeah, you're not gonna worry, but he didn't gut the whole team, like changed
Yeah,
everything. He kept the key players there, except for maybe a couple of them. People talking about playing. Well, that's history. But he kept the key players, and he built his team the way he wanted to see it. But he left the important pieces there.
One
fact.
thing I
Are
do
we?
have to bring up
Okay.
that's totally off topic for a second. You know how they say that like Mandela effect thing? So you know the song "We Are the Champions," and at the end they're all "of the world." Apparently that never was said. I'm like,
No, it wasn't.
what?
Queen
Bullshit.
never said that. No, Queen never said it
Bullshit.
in the record.
How do you? I swear to God, I grew up hearing that.
No, there's never in the song. It was all people assumed that's what he said, but
I
it was
swear
never in
I've
the song.
heard
The
that
Queen
song
original,
somewhere.
Queen's original version of "We Are Champions" is never in the song.
I
Well, I
disagree.
have to.
I
Yeah, I was gonna say
disagree.
I've
It
heard
wasn't in the
so
song.
many
No, the
different.
original
And,
cut
and
of
we're like
"We
the
Are
same age. I disagree.
No, the original cut of Queen, "We Are Champions" was that song was never in there.
It
Then
was
they
a
What
just
live.
did they
added
say
the
at the
song
Produced.
end?
later. Teams added that. Teams that use that song added that in there.
Okay, well, they're
But the
saying that it
original
was
cut,
never added at all. They're saying that line was never there. I'm like,
no, I
I've
was
heard
saying
that
teams
song.
teams might have added there like people singing it. They might have added that part,
I
but the
think he
original
said
cut
it.
of Queen was never in there.
I think he said it in a concert, and it was recorded in a live view. So if you play
Yeah.
the live version, it's in there. I think that's how that
Yeah,
works. I
and
do
they're
believe.
trying to say in the Mandela effect, it was never said. I was like, bullshit.
No, it wasn't the original cut. It probably was said in a concert, but it was never an original cut.
Well,
Anyway,
that's crazy. Sorry, back to topic.
so you guys, welcome
My
to
brain.
the "We Are the World" podcast, our champions podcast.
Right?
We are the world.
We
That
are
just
the
tripped me out when I
world.
heard that. I was like, what? Just
You're
like there
thinking
was
Michael
no Jiffy
Jackson.
peanut
Stop
butter.
playing.
I'm
Hey,
just
I
saying.
just started. I was just like, wait. I just said "We Are the World." That's the Michael Jackson.
Well, I
Michael
said that
Jackson.
too, the world. That was that
I'll be right
movie.
back, yo.
How
All
about
right.
we are the world? Hey, we
We
are the
Anyway,
are.
we are the
children.
Right.
children. Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, Candy, thank you again, man, for coming on. We
Oh
definitely
Yeah,
yeah.
appreciate this.
Honestly,
yeah.
I
Finally put a
usually do
face
this
to the
for
name.
hours. It doesn't. It's. I like talking to people. I like connecting. It's fun. At least I'm not yelling at freaking trolls all day. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, they treat us pretty good on this side. So you know,
What?
it
Oh,
should be a safe
you
zone.
haven't seen what's been on my chat so far. I've been deleting it. You
I've
have
been watching
no
your chat,
idea.
and you got some
It
really
gets
nice people there.
yeah. I get some crazy ones.
You got
I
some,
get
fandom over there,
you
man.
know,
So yeah,
there is one thing I could say, and I'm kind of glad they're all hearing it because, like, a lot of people say, "Oh, you're crazy, you're this, you're that," but you know, I come in here just like everybody else. Hey guys, how you doing? What's going on? And I get people just instantly just coming in saying the rudest. Like I have never seen trolls so ingenious than they have been in my chat. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
you came up with a whole new way to fucking stab a little deeper. You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy.
We're gonna pray that those people get their own channels to kind of go to.
I would love
You know
it.
what I mean?
I
Because
would
people
love
that
it.
don't have a lot of stuff to do kind of tend
Oh
to come
yeah.
over.
No, I
and-
tell them I was like, please come on. I would love to come and tell you what I think of you. Like, I'd be like, oh, you're so amazing. How are you guys? I love you. Oh, be nice to Piano Man. He didn't do any. What did he say in the chat? I didn't see what he said that y'all are sitting there talking shit to him.
Piano Man, we're all good, bro, till week 2.
Well, no,
I'm telling you that now.
someone just said Piano Man's gay.
Oh, dog.
Okay,
no, not Piano Man.
as for
I'm like,
Bueno,
"Please don't,
I forgot
he's
to Bueno. I'm on live on Kick right now.
I
I
have
forgot
told
to add it.
Piano Man to come on my channel. He is welcome anytime.
So okay, wait a minute. So Bueno, I forgot to put it on, but yeah, I should be live on Kick right now. It's a new streaming service. We're trying out, me and Jeff.
You guys
So
like
I
Kick?
should be on there.
Do you like Kick? I tried to use Kick for like gaming, but it was confusing as shit to me.
Yeah, this guy. They're trying out right now.
Yeah,
So
it's
Bueno, go to
very
Kick and
confusing.
find me, see if I'm on there. I should be on there.
Yeah, it's
think
definitely
I did.
confusing to me.
I think I did it at one point, but I gave up. I was like, no.
No,
I'm gonna
I
try it
wouldn't. Y'all are so weird. The links to my website and all my social medias are in my bio. You're welcome to go check them out. candyangel.com/links. I have a store on there. Go buy my book. It's about trauma bond healing. Some of you could probably use it.
That's what's up.
Oh,
Hey,
let's
actually,
see.
I was gonna say, since you're talking about that, that's funny because we have also another show. It's Sunday nights for now, but it's fellas night out. But it's also for topics like that. Like, I want people to be able to, because like for guys, we don't talk about a lot. We don't talk about
Exactly.
emotions and stuff like that. So I
Mhm.
wanted a platform where if I have to be the vulnerable one to bring this stuff up just for others to be able to
Mhm.
either, bring awareness to,
Yes.
I would like to do that. So, like, anytime that you would like to come on and talk
Oh yeah,
about
I
your
would
book.
totally I would totally come on and talk about it. Yeah, so I'm the type of person, I've been through a lot of trauma in my life. I've lived even though I'm only 45, I've still lived a long life in those 45 years.
Only
And
45?
yeah.
Only 40. I ain't seen 45 in 16 years. So yeah, you good.
Yeah, no, I'm only 45, but the thing is for one, going through menopause, my mental health has not declined, but become very like roller coaster. I don't take hormones because my mom had breast cancer, so I can't go and get estrogen to help. I have to find natural ways to fix things. So I just started taking like a collagen and magnesium supplement and stuff like that just to try and help with mental health. But I will tell you, as a woman who's going through menopause, premenopause, or whatever I'm in, and I know that men say they don't go through it, but they go through the mental health changes as they get older too. And it is hard to not have someone to speak to when you need to, or feel like you're a burden on others. So that is why I do my channel. I do it, and I know I crash out on a lot of trolls because they say a lot of things, and people don't understand words. They only are just words for a few moments until they start to dig deep when you hear it from so many people. And even though I don't let them get to me, it still gets to a point where I'm going to give you exactly what you're giving me so that you see what you do to others. And I might look like the one that's crashing out, but 80 some thousand followers watch me do that to see, damn, there's a lot of them that come on there and are like, holy shit, why does she get so much ridicule? Why does she get so much this? And then you get the ones that are the children, the ones that should be watching cartoons and go back to their age category and talking all kinds of crap. So it's like, and what's sad is some of them are in their 20s and 30s. Some of them are even in their 40s and 50s. I have women and men just saying stupid things. And, it's when you're going through all these emotions and you hear people saying all these things and you handle it a certain way, there are others that look up to that. There are others that like to relate to that or say, oh, I didn't even know that somebody else was feeling this way. Somebody else was going through what I'm going through. And so having that outlet for others to find, relate to, or even just come in and talk crap because it's making you feel better with the shitty life you're having. If your life is so bad that you have to talk crap on me, at least I could be a platform for somebody to feel a little
Well,
better.
yeah, mental health is no joke because I think of people I know that went through mental illness, and you think like, oh, this guy's crazy. No, they're going through issues in their head.
Yep. Yep.
They're seeing things differently than what we see things.
Mm-hmm.
They have all kind of issues, but that
PTSD.
we
Yeah.
can talk about tonight. I'll be on your show tonight. We're talking mental health issues tonight.
Sure.
So
Oh,
been
another
on
one
two
other thing.
hours,
I do
and
want to say
then
one
I
other
got to do
thing.
another PSA right quick. You guys, everybody in the nation or anybody who's not in the nation who's on our channels, on both our channels, make sure you subscribe to Raiders Rebel Station. Watch him. He has good content. Make sure you watch Candy. She got good things to talk about. Make sure you subscribe to my boy over here, Ray Jasin, and also me. We're gonna get subscribers in. Hit the likes, hit notifications, sub, tell a friends, tell all your friends. Watch these shows. PSA is now over. Go ahead.
So another thing on that mental health thing, Rebel actually was just in the process of making a hotline for others to call and speak to if they need, just like a text line. You can go in and put your Raiders questions. You can go and talk about your mental health issues, little things like that. So if you all want to
Voice
reach out,
chat.
Rebel will be putting those up for you, to help others too as well. I just wanted to mention that because I remember he was talking about it.
The Brady Bunch. So who's Peter? Who's Greg? We know who Marsha is, or Jan.
The
I
Brady
uh,
Bunch.
I think Raider Rebels is Peter.
Get the fuck out of here.
Chris, you're Alice for sure. You got to be Alice.
That's a derogatory mark, man. That
Marsha,
made me
Marsha,
feel ashamed.
Marsha.
I will not accept Marsha. Marsha's not part of the Brady Bunch. She was just a maid.
No,
I'm not a
Marsha was the
maid.
oldest daughter. The maid was Alice.
Yeah, Alice.
Alice
That
was
was
a maid.
Alice
Marsha was the
the
oldest
maid.
daughter.
Marsha.
Well,
Ann
I
was
know
the
you.
middle and Cindy.
she was the veteran of the. She was the
I
seasoned.
don't want to be
Right.
tied
She's a
to
vet.
Alice. No.
All right, I'll be
No.
out.
That's awesome.
Oh, you want to tie to Alice? We put you as a Bobby.
I need-
Bobby.
I'm not
The
tidy
little
enough
kid
to be
Bobby.
Alice for sure.
Yeah, we'll put you as Bobby, man. We put you as
I'll
Bobby
get
as
video
the
of
one that
that.
always get in trouble.
Yeah, I'll take Bobby. Yeah, I'll be Bobby for sure.
Jack Kenneth said, I think Greg hooked up with my mom in real life.
Oh damn.
What the hell? Okay, so I mean, yeah, I
Mental health. I'm telling you. Yeah.
After the show.
Hey, I was gonna say if you guys want to if you guys are down for tonight, but I was gonna say we could push it to next Sunday night, or if you guys are ready, we could talk about mental health tonight. But I was gonna say I would just like to have more time, because it's a big topic. Definitely, would like to put a lot into it. So
Yeah, we're gonna get the word out there and let people know what it's
For
about.
sure.
I'd probably
yeah,
like to do that.
because I
Push it a
think
little more.
everybody definitely
Well,
needs,
and like Chris was saying, there's not very many, and like you were saying, I mean, there's not very many men that will put their feelings out there because they're afraid of looking emasculated or, not man enough. And, I don't think people realize it ain't about being a man. Being mentally healthy is being a good man. Being mentally healthy for others is being a grown person. It's being emotionally stable for others. And, I've driven Rebel crazy plenty of times, but if it wasn't for someone picking up that phone on those days that I wouldn't have had somebody to talk to, and there's plenty of times that I've needed a friend and I've had someone pick up in the right times. So, it's not a joke. Like, I'm not trying to play some victim, but there are days where some people, it's just too much for others. And if you don't have someone picking up that phone, like my cousin, I had a cousin that committed suicide, and it was not easy. He was the youngest of our cousins because he felt like he had no one to talk to. And even though he had a lot, it's when you feel alone, if you don't reach out, it's all on you. And giving a spot for people to find someone to reach out to when they don't want to reach out to someone they're related to or someone they know because they're scared of opening up to somebody, but they're willing to open up to a stranger. That is important no matter who it is. Everybody needs community.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
sometimes.
you. I had a nephew that committed suicide about 4 years
Yeah,
ago.
it was 2019.
And you can talk to him. Yeah, I tried to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
They had told me before that he tried to hang himself, but they caught him. So when you talk to a person, they're gonna talk to you like everything's okay. But here it's all kind of messed up. So it's hard to really reach out to a person that has an issue,
Yep.
especially that has suicidal tendencies.
Especially if they're too afraid to reach out on their own.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to reach out because they don't open up to you, tell you what it is. So it's important to talk about health. And I would like to do that show tonight. I'll do it. What time are we gonna do it, Jason?
8 p.m. our time. I don't know if that's too late,
Okay.
for
No, I can
but
do it. That's fine for me.
okay,
That's
let's
perfect.
do it. Definitely. I'll put
Okay.
everything in fact together right after this, and then let's do that, man. Because I feel
Are
like
you coming back on Rebel? Are you gonna do show that way you can talk about your hotline?
Yeah, I might pull up a little bit. Yeah, sometimes somebody. That's why I started the hotline, or I'm about to start the hotline, because sometimes it just being able to call or have somebody give you a word of encouragement. That somebody still does care about you or believe in you. Or have faith in you. Just could change somebody's life or save somebody's life. So
It really
yeah,
does.
I mean,
it doesn't matter. It
how
just
could I
take
not
one
pull up?
word. It will just say one word to somebody like, "You're right."
Mhm.
It'll
And
be a
please, for all
Jason
my
will be a pull-up show or
followers,
what?
all my followers, please go give them a like and a thumbs up. Their channels are tagged in my channel. You're welcome to, and I've also put them in the chat a few times. Go show everybody some love and give them some likes and follow
Yes,
them, guys,
Roma.
especially if you love
Well,
football.
Romo, this is the Raider channel, so I think we're Raider fans. We already wear
Yeah.
gear,
Yeah,
so
we
I think we're Raider
Raiders.
fans.
yeah,
Yes,
till I
sir.
die. Till I die.
Yeah. You're right. Raiders did suck last year.
And even
Who's
if
your
you're
team?
not a Raiders fan, please go join the channels and have
Hey,
some debate.
the question is, who's your team, Roma? Who's your team?
Right? Who's your favorite team, Roma?
I
Oh,
don't
I'm
have a
pretty
team.
sure
Hey,
if it's not the
Jason.
Eagles, they suck. Yes, ma'am.
Jason, please don't kick people just because they have an opinion. Only kick them if they're being rude to me.
Nobody's being kicked.
Not from my channel. Jason just kicked somebody. He timed him out.
Oh
I
wow.
don't-
They said
yeah,
all
so-
Raiders fans suck. I appreciate it, Jason, but they're entitled to their
Oh,
opinion.
it's like,
He kicked them because
Okay,
they
wait a
said
minute.
they suck.
yeah,
Oh,
I
and then they said,
appreciate
"I'm
that.
so sorry."
Yeah, appreciate that, Jason. Appreciate
We
that.
appreciate it, but they're entitled to their opinion. We
Yeah,
like to hear
yeah,
that
they're okay.
they can tell
Like-
us we suck because then we'll argue right back.
Yeah. Yeah, during preseason, it's all fun and games and all that, but
Right,
like I
during the
said,
game, we gotta
Hero,
show them.
Piano Man, week 2, it's on.
Right?
No, Peon Man won't show up. Well, we ever give him invitations to join our show, he won't show up. But
I know
Yeah,
he
we
hasn't
go.
shown up on mine. He used to tell Rebel he'd show up on his too until Rebel kicked him. But
Yeah.
Rebel kicked him because he was literally calling every single person in the chat Karens and Pop Tarts and everything else. So
You're
can
so
only deal with so
sweetie.
right?
He's so sweet. Calling them Pop Tarts.
Bueno, be nice.
anyway,
Yeah,
Piano
So,
Man's probably all right. He just chose the wrong team. That's it.
So
or
we got-
he,
we
no,
got-
so this is the thing about Piano Man. I think he's secretly a Raiders
I think he
fan.
chooses the wrong time to
And
come
he
on.
just said, no, I think he secretly is a Raiders fan and he just tells everybody he's a Chargers fan. But let's be real, bro. You're in every single
Raider, yeah.
Raiders chat. Let's
Shout
be
to
real.
Piano Man.
You're a closet lover.
So,
That came out wrong. Sorry, not closet. but not
so
that kind of
Bills
closet.
are winning Super Bowl this year. Well, Bills had like many opportunities to win, but they still haven't won one yet. So we'll see. They should have went this year to the Super Bowl, but they didn't.
yeah, I'm over the Bills.
The
The Bills ain't
Bills.
gonna do nothing. They just like to get there. They're like the Niners. They like to get there and then do nothing.
They're like, here,
They
let's
got-
we're
they
gonna
got
go,
the
and
offense.
then we're tired.
If they can put the defense with it, it
Yeah,
it
Where's
might be.
Raider Ben? I don't
Yeah.
know.
He's right there.
I've never been in his channel. I
Oh,
think
Raider
one
Ben's
time.
not here now.
yeah. That's the
He's doing
piece.
something.
So speaking of Raider Ben, I don't know. I didn't get to see the chat, but a little birdie came to me and said Raider Ben was talking shit on me in his Saturday channel about, oh, it's not Rebel's girlfriend. Let's make fun of her. Okay, well, I don't know you, little
Better
troll. That
message
looks
him.
like.
Well,
Dude,
you
no,
know,
this is the
you
thing.
know.
I don't know Raider Ben, but I will tell you, he looks like fucking Jay and Silent Bob, bro. Like literally, throw on a trench coat. Let's go, Bob. Except you talk too much. So you want to talk
He'll
shit,
invite
Raider
you.
Ben? Come up
Well,
on
you
my
know what?
channel, Raider Ben, and I'll talk shit to
Oh,
you
he'll
too, bro.
pull
Just like
he'll
the
You
pull
know,
you
Rebel.
up.
Kenny, you know what? You know what?
And maybe he
He'll
wasn't,
invite
but
Here's
He'll
the bottom
invite
line. Here's the bottom line. Hold on. Here's the bottom line. Ray Ben's not here to defend himself. You know,
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
want to
And
go at
that's
it.
why I
You
said
guys
he's
go on
welcome
your
to come to
own
my
time,
channel.
but I don't.
And you can't believe
I
little
prefer not to
birdies.
have
if
that
you didn't see the
that
shit.
back and forth with somebody else that's not here. You know, Ray Ben said something about you, said something back about him
That's
on
the
you
thing. I've
guys'
never
time.
even been in his channel. I will say though, if he does have a problem, come and talk to me. I have
Okay.
no problem with that. No problem.
All right.
But
I
that
know
said,
what.
the only
You
time
know
I
what.
went in his channel, I went to
We know who's
comments
going to be
to
on
ask
Black
him-
Friday this week.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sure.
my
But that's the thing. The
Oh,
only
my
time I
God.
did go into his channel,
Yeah.
I went in his channel one time as a brand new Raiders fan and was trying to talk, and his wife or girlfriend fucking kicked me out the channel. I was like, oh, okay. I was just asking about football. So what's the
Yeah.
point in going in a
All
channel
right,
when
we
you're
get
going to
the
get
point.
kicked for
Let's
your
get back
opinion?
to
All right, we
Raiders.
got it. We got it. You
Yeah,
know what?
yeah.
You and Ray Ben can talk amongst yourselves.
Raider-
I prefer
Raider
not
drama
to have
shit.
that. I prefer having that
Raider
conversation
drama.
between you guys, somebody else contact because if somebody
Drama.
like Ray Ben, I don't want to talk about him. Somebody like me, just
Yeah.
yeah, fine. Do
Well,
it
no,
your
I mean,
own
I
time.
just don't know why I was
But
the topic of conversation when I've never been in his
that's
channel.
another story. That's another story. I'm sorry, Candy.
Oh, no,
I'm
you're
gonna cut
good.
you
You're
off.
good. You're good.
That's another
You're
story.
good.
That's another story. Let's talk about Raider football. You want to talk about no? I'm fine with that, but that's another story.
All right.
Please,
What are they saying?
thank you.
Go
What are these
birdies.
people saying?
Which birdies? There's a lot of birdie teams.
Yeah,
It was
what,
one of the
Eagles,
birdies.
the Falcons.
Eagles, Falcons, Cardinals. Like
It
what
was a
birdie?
bird. It
What
was
birdies
a,
we
it was a
talking
little
Oh,
birdie.
Carl's not birds. They're feed.
Heroes saying it all started because of Navman.
Feed.
Oh, it's all started because of Navman. supposedly.
Yeah.
That's what
Okay.
Heroes
Next
said in the
subject.
chat.
So what's
I
your
was just reading the
so
chat.
Chris and Jason? You never told us your top 5 Raider players that.
Chris,
Yeah,
you
you
wanna-
got, who are your top 5 Raiders?
Well, of all time or this year? What are you talking about?
Just who are your top 5 favorite
Yeah.
players of at all time this year? It doesn't matter. I believe you're the oldest one, so the grandfather in of
Believe that I am
Raiders.
the oldest one
So who is your favorite players?
of all time. I'll go in order. Rod Martin, Bo Jackson. I mean, not Bo Jackson. Yeah, Bo Jackson's there, but he's not number 2. Ken Stabler, number 3. Then you got Tim Brown, and also Jack Tatum.
Nice list.
I don't know any of them.
Yeah, well, you asked me. I told you.
No, I don't know any of them.
He's an all time. If you
Okay,
said
so
this year,
of this year, who's your top favorite players?
see, like Bueno said, Samira White is my all time favorite. All time.
I'm praying for you.
Jack Kenneth said you're older than dirt. I know I'm
No,
older than
I was
Google.
born. I was born before dirt was here, Jack. I was here was nothing.
He showed him where to put dirt.
I said, "Hey, you want to make dirt now? Because I'm tired of playing stuff in the air."
Rod Martin's a hell of a dude. I met that dude at an autograph signing in Vegas. He was at some casino signing autographs a long time ago, back in the day. So I had his autograph. Got to talk to him, hang out. Cool ass dude. So yeah, it was a beast on the field too.
Nice.
Mhm.
I met Joe somebody last year. I did a little like autograph.
Jack Kennan, everybody know your favorite players, damn it. Yeah, that's obvious. We know your favorite player. I'm sorry to cut you off, but Jack Kennan, we know your favorite player is Andre James. So quiet.
Thank you for being here, Mom, even though you're not a football fan. She's a hockey fan.
Appreciate Mama Candy.
Right?
Yo,
Y'all are cray.
speaking of Andre James, rumor has it that he's 3rd or 4th on the depth chart between behind a bunch of very very bad centers. Like that's
I heard it was second. I heard it was second on depth chart.
I read a report yesterday. Said he was 4th on the depth chart behind a bunch of very bad centers. I was like,
was it 4th?
That's
I
rough.
believe it.
I heard when they signed him, he was number 2.
Yeah, now he's 4th.
Yeah,
like I guess somebody wrote an article yesterday. It said former Raider player Andre James falls to 4th on the depth chart behind a bunch of like pretty much no name players. Like,
and he's supposed to be our starter.
Yeah,
they're like, "Where's James? Oh, he's on the ground. He's the one getting off the ground again." Oh, damn it,
man.
Yeah, Andres. Yeah, when we re-signed him, I knew that was the way our season was going. When he was our first re-signing, because like Palomile was the one we got this year, and then when we signed him, I'm like, damn, they don't see it. They do not see what we see. You know what I'm saying? If that's who you're bringing back, you can get anybody.
But you got to remember when they signed James, they had a big run on guards, and that guy Hunter from I forgot signed with all that money. I think the Raiders panicked. But Tom Telesco panicked. We got signed James right away. So I think they panicked. But you see what happens when some real guys came to the building. They said, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah. Hey, we were literally crying over Spillane. Like, oh man, we got rid of Spillane. We're stacked at linebacker right now.
We gave up one of the best centers ever for the Raiders to let Andre James replace him.
Rodney Hudson.
Yeah, like we gave up one of the best centers we had in forever. Like, and Derek Carr's buddy, and that just killed this team. I think to put Andre James in at center was horrible.
Somebody got super chat. I don't know if it was you or.
Oh, that was me. It says Cowboys fans rejoice this year. This is our year.
Every year's your year.
Hey, at least they make the playoffs. They just don't know what to do when they get there.
They didn't make it last year.
The last game I actually paid attention to when I was 14 years old in 1994. The only time I ever really started paying attention to football was when the Niners went to the Super Bowl with the Cowboys. That was literally like the one I remember.
Well, for one thing, Candy, I'll disagree with that. Because the Niners and Cowboys cannot play in Super Bowl
same
together.
division, NFC championship.
The
playoff.
Or they played in the playoffs, and then I think the Cowboys went to the Super Bowl.
The championship, they can play championship again. They can't play in Super Bowl together. They could.
They
can play like flag football.
It was 1994. They won the Super Bowl.
Flag
football. Yeah, they beat those sorry Chargers.
Okay, so it was the Niners.
The 49ers beat the Cowboys, then beat the Chargers. That was all
Only
I
time
was-
Chargers ever smelled the Super Bowl.
I was,
But then I think the next year,
I was actually in San
Yeah.
Diego the week before. They was going. They had banners up everywhere, all the stadium. There was like banners, Chargers. And, yeah, they got their ass whipped royally.
so
Matt
roll
said
them
Cowboys.
banners up and put it right back where you had them at.
Yeah, junior sales pictures on the billboards and everything else, and the Charger. They call it Charger something. It wasn't Charger Nation, but they're like, I was like, what the fuck? I had my Raider hat on, like, yeah, you guys still gonna get your ass kicked. I mean, bar fights I could have got in, probably
Roll them
about
banners. Roll up the
no.
banners.
I went there. I could have attended 4 or 5 bar fights because I was like, yeah, y'all still suck. Y'all ain't gonna win.
Okay, so I'm a little
Yeah.
confused. Scott says, geez, turn that water off. Scott says, y'all disrespected the anthem. It was coming for you. Yet Canada is nothing without the United States. What does that even mean?
What
Hey,
did
you guys just keep Drake in line, all right? You guys worry about keeping Drake in line. Worry about what we do over here.
Worry about your people on your side of the border.
That's the oldest guy here. That's older than Dirt. I was there when Canada formed as a country, and then they helped us out, and we helped them out. So I was there when it happened.
I have
I'm
no
just
clue,
saying.
but I thought that was funny.
I'm just saying, just worry about what Drake's doing over there, all right?
Take him back.
Right?
What did I miss?
Okay, Romo said Charger player
So
by player is
Jason.
better the team than the Raiders today. Okay, hold it. Let me respond to this. Let me respond to this. Okay, every year for the past 7 years, on paper, the Chargers were the best team in the AFC on paper. But as soon as they get to play the game, they suck. How can you How can you have a 24-point lead at halftime against the Jacksonville Jaguars and then lose it to a second-year quarterback? How can you go Super Bowl and get your ass really whumped by the 49ers? Every year. And the playoffs,
How many do they have, by the way?
Wait. And the playoffs, you guys in playoffs. First round exit.
Right?
They said Canada invented basketball. Boom.
No, they didn't. They invented basketball.
Basketball. That actually was a good ass movie. I love
That
that
movie
movie.
was funny as shit, actually. That movie was hilarious.
He's
Yeah,
like,
right.
dude,
But I
you're a
don't,
little
I don't say that. Chargers this
He's
year
like,
can't win a playoff game. Yeah, they're right.
So, Jason, who
Yeah.
are your 5 players?
Oof, my 5.
Mhm.
Woo.
Let's go
So I
ahead.
got
It's your 5.
I'll tell you his 5 players: Samir White, Dylan Parham, Andre James.
Oh, damn. Hey,
Tyree,
you got about
Tyree Wilson.
Jonathan Abrams, you know what I'm saying?
So we got all your players.
The Matter Daddy, you know what I'm saying? The Matador, you know what I'm saying? Nah. So for me, like growing up, I will always be connected to Marcus Allen because, like Marcus Allen, that was all the talk. Because, like I said, I was born in '83, September '83, so I was like 4 months when they won that Super Bowl. So Marcus Allen, that
I was
famous
2.5.
run. Damn, see, that's what I'm saying.
I was born in '80, so yeah. No,
See?
you know what's funny? The only older player I remember, I believe, Jerry Rice played for the Raiders back in the day. That's like the only. And then I don't know if Joe Montana did. I know he was the quarterback for the Niners, but
he would. That would drive the Niner fans crazy. He went to the Chiefs. He went to them sorry Chiefs though. But
They did for a year.
horrible. If you're gonna leave Cali, go to another Cali team.
Well,
Yeah,
back in the day, Chiefs, back in the day, Candy, you know the history too much. Back in the day, the Chiefs were actually the stepping stool for the AFC West.
Okay.
In those days, because back in the day, we had Kansas City Chiefs, Denver Broncos, LA Raiders, the San Diego Chargers, and Seattle Seahawks were in the division before they split it up. The Chiefs were always in dead last. There's always a stepping stone. Like, if you play the Chiefs, that's a win.
Okay.
Until they split the division to make it like it is now. So
I
just
have-
give you a
I
little
have
history.
A question then.
And now it's if you play the Raiders, it's a win.
What year
For the
was
last
it?
20 years.
So what years was it when the Raiders went? I believe they started in Oakland, correct? And
Yeah,
then they went to
Oakland,
LA, and then they went back to Oakland, and then to Vegas.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
years did they go from Oakland to LA and then LA back to Oakland and then Oakland to Vegas? I believe Vegas was 2020 or 2019.
They moved to Raiders in 81, 82.
82, I do believe.
82.
Yeah,
And
that was my year. Graduated
Seven-
in
To
82,
LA.
then 91. Then went back to Oakland,
I believe 17 years, and then they moved back to Oakland.
and then from there, and what year was that? That year that Minshew actually beat us the last game of the season with the Jaguars.
Back to Oakland in 95.
95.
Yeah,
And
17
then it
years.
went to the Raiders
after-
in 2019 or 2020 in Vegas. Was it
2002.
2020.
Yeah, because they were. Yeah, because I remember the first year was
So
2020.
they've
no
only been there
fan.
5 years now. Then okay.
I got the hat somewhere.
Damn.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It was okay. It was during like right after COVID or some shit, or right
Yeah.
before, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep, because
It
no
was like
fan.
right
There was
after
no
the
fans.
Super Bowl, and then they transferred like when California pretty much shut down. They're like, we're
Yeah,
going to
it was-
Vegas.
Yeah, that was wild. We
Oh, that
lost.
shit was
We lost
crazy.
it all.
Dude, I
Wow,
moved
that was
from
Zeta was a
Colorado. I
dog.
moved from Colorado straight to Florida. I was like, I ain't getting stuck in the house. Fuck you, I'm going to the beach.
Why you ask this man his list and then cut him off in the middle of it? And then
Sorry.
No, it's all
Steve
good.
Brain, I'm sorry. Okay,
Yeah,
please finish.
Yeah, no, because each player does have a story too. You know what I mean? And so like I was adopted. So my adopted dad in the household, he was not a football fan at all. Like he was work. He thought I was wasting time by watching sports and all that. But he never liked sports. But one player that he always talked about was Bo Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Just the beast that he
As
was
the
feed.
person that he is, yeah.
Yeah. Like he could run over you, he could speed past you, he could leap, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just he was just a total athlete. And just for every time you heard about the Raiders, it was Bo Jackson. You know what I mean? Just as growing up, it was Bo Jackson was that dude. And it just they would always just say, like, if he didn't get hurt, he would have been one of the best football players that ever lived.
So they said that he like tore his hip or something, like dislocated
no,
his
it's
hip, or his
yeah.
it was
It,
something.
it was he was running against Cincinnati Bengals in a game,
I
and
actually wrote something about that.
it did somebody. It wasn't a horseshoe, but they tackled him,
Seattle,
and then
Brian Bosworth.
no,
Yeah,
it was
he did
the
his
game he got
career
hurt
to
in was
the
against
hip
Cincinnati
injury.
Bengals, and then they was trying to tackle him. Bo Jackson refused to go down. He kept running, and then he was hurt. Instead of laying on the ground hurt, he got up and walked off the field, which made it compounded, made the injury bad worse.
Dang, that sucks that you lose your whole
Someone should
career
have told him,
due to
sit your
injury.
ass, sit down.
Shit your ass.
Oh, he got up.
Yeah.
It was a
After the tackle,
tackle
you
or
can see
something, right?
his leg, and it got stretched out. He was on the ground, and he got right up. Like, dude,
Kobe did it.
That's tough.
Clay did it. No, it's fine.
Right?
No,
It sucks that someone loses their whole career over just one little injury. You know,
Right.
It happens.
it's can you imagine?
Okay,
Like,
let-
I can't
let the
even
man
imagine going
finish.
through that.
Let the man
Like,
finish.
I'm just
Let the
saying, I
man
can't
finish.
imagine.
no,
Let the man
yeah,
finish.
no,
It happens,
that is.
it happens, Candy, in all sports. No matter
Can I
football,
finish?
baseball, basketball,
Yeah.
tennis. It happens. Just one freak accident can ruin your whole career.
Well, the thing is no, I don't think any of them actually truly prepare for that one day. You know what I mean? They just play to their fullest and not think about the consequences of, oh, if I get hit the wrong way.
Well, you
my
can't.
life
How can you prepare for
Yeah.
something that you don't know is going to happen? You
Yeah.
can't prepare. I think I'm gonna go outside and go take the trash cans in, and I might break my leg. You just don't know what happens. Anything can happen. You get tired.
Remember when mom would like put the gloves on you, the jacket, wrap you up.
And you go
with
throw
this,
it
Bubble wrap.
up
you
when
like,
you're little.
you like, Mom, I can't play football like this with all this stuff on.
Right.
I can't catch. I can't even lift my arms. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you can be as prepared as you want to. Like, remember when as a kid, whatever the players were wearing, you got to have the headbands and
Yep.
the sleeves and all that. That's how
The
old
little
I am.
marks
I had
on
a
your
headband.
eyes.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know what I'm
hell no.
saying?
You guys,
And then go out there and catch a lick. You know what I'm
you
saying?
guys don't know. Back in the day, man, all this helmets and shit. No, we didn't wear helmets or elbow pads and knee pads. No, we went out there, man, roughed it out.
You guys
But
have
anyway,
those leather ones.
Daniel, I have a question. Who was the toughest NFL player of all time?
Yeah. How different were those leather helmets?
Let's start. Let's start winning time. So Candy won't interrupt us. Let's start with Rebel.
Toughest
Who's toughest player in your opinion of all time?
player all time was us kids in the streets playing tackle football, bouncing off cars and light poles and smacking your head on the curb and shit. Those were the toughest football players of all time, in my opinion. No, it has to be Jim Otto, bro. Like that I could think of, but I don't know how you can. The NFL is full of just absolute beasts and monsters. So I don't know how you could pick just one. But I mean, a guy that played a whole entire season, like I said, with a broken orbital bone and one eye at center, like you have to put him at least up there. Like that's, and back in the day, you have to think too. It's not the helmets now that they're fitted, right? They got to squeeze them on their head. Like when you got hit back in the day, that shit spun around. He was looking out, looking out the ear hole and shit. So, those helmets were loose, and this dude's playing center and constantly, you got one, maybe two guys, as soon as you hike the ball, you got to deal with because you got to get one guy, or, and then go get a linebacker, and you get, constantly smacked in your face. So to me, to not miss any games with a broken, eye socket and orbital bone, bro, that's a dog to me. That's unheard of.
Okay, Kenny, your turn.
My uncle I don't really know of a Raiders player as the toughest, but my uncle used to talk about the bus on the Steelers. He used to say that guy was a beast, talked about him all the time. And then my grandpa would talk about Walter Payton as his all-time running back. But other than that, the only coach I ever knew about was Mike Ditka. And that's just because he played in that movie, Kicking and Screaming. And then I found out he was the coach of the freaking Bears. But as far as I knew, my uncle would always talk about the bus being one of the toughest players. Like
Jerome Bettis.
Jerome Bettis. He always talked about the bus, or Terry Bradshaw.
How about you, Jason? Who's the toughest player all time? In your opinion, not necessarily for the Raiders, just for any player.
Yeah, when I say when I think of football, I think of Ray Lewis. You know what I'm saying? Like Ray Lewis was a savage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like any running back, I just felt, to be you the night before, trying to go to sleep, knowing damn well you got to see Ray Lewis up that middle. And at every time, he's pretty much going to almost always be there. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just a smart, just ruthless player, man. Like I wish we had one of those. It was one of those. Like I wish we had one of that. That would have changed everything. Like him and Ed Reed. Like Ed Reed was a dog too. Like he was one of my favorite safeties. You know what I'm saying? Just with those. And then we had a chance to get Ed Reed. We of course let him go. Let it slip away. But those two players would have changed everything.
Daniel
I think we had a couple linebackers.
Hold up, Candy.
I was just reading the chat. Sorry.
We had a couple linebackers like that, and I guess Lyle Alzado wasn't really a linebacker, defensive line, but a couple of guys like that, and I think in Beaker, Greg Beaker was kind of one of those dudes that, if y'all remember Beak, he was that hard hitting, just run stopping freak of nature, and then we didn't have him very long, but Bill Romanowski was that another guy that was just always in the news constantly, getting fined for the way he hit people, or so I think that was another dog linebacker that I remember watching for the Raiders. I love when Bill Romanowski came.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that one tough players I've seen of all time football players had to be Ronnie Lott. Anytime you get your finger broken and they say cut off and goes back in the game, that has to be tough. You know what? All right, hey, your finger broke. Okay, just cut off. I'm getting back in there, coach.
No, Megan is saying Marshawn Lynch, and then Daniel is saying Mean Joe Green.
Ooh, Mean Joe Green. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Ronnie Lott was like, in my opinion.
Who else y'all got, Chad?
Yeah. Palomalo too was one that was everywhere the ball was. He was there. That dude was all you see is hair flying to the ball.
Well, he said tough is not the most aggressive. Tough is like being tough is different from being aggressive. Yeah. I would say I would say mine has to be Ronnie Lott, because anytime you break a finger that you can get back in the game,
See, that's what we're on the same page. Like, to me, the toughest, guys are beasts, but toughest is playing through injuries, because you see guys like Deion Sanders, and I know turf toe is a bad thing, but missed almost a whole season, I think, with that turf toe, or so when you got shit like that, and then you got guys that play with cut their finger off just to go back in the game, like shit, I would have cut my toe off to go back in, right?
Shit. So Brett Favre was a pretty tough dude too.
Oh,
Like-
he got
Wasn't
murdered.
he a quarterback?
Yeah, he used to get smacked
Reed,
around.
right?
Yeah, but hey, he was so cool. Like he was one of those people, kind of like like how we say Pete Carroll's like fun guy. Like he was that just backcountry playing ball. You know what I mean? Like he was, he would take hits. Like what's his name would give him I think it was Warren Sapp, and then he would just tap him on the helmet like, "Hey, nice hit." You know what I'm saying?
Nice
Like,
hit.
damn, this dude just smacked
Yeah,
the shit out of it.
Another name I know is Dan Marino. What about him? Like, was he a good?
No, he was
Damn.
soft.
No, he was.
He was
awesome.
soft.
He was
Oh,
soft.
not-
I just remember
He was
hearing
soft.
about him.
He's like wet bread.
He was soft. He got sacked, man. He get up and start crying. Like, he hit me. He was soft. He was
I
good. He
never
was a good
liked-
quarterback, but he wasn't tough. He was
I never
hard.
liked him.
Sean Elway.
It just has there was something about him. I never liked him. I never liked the Dolphins. I never liked him.
He had a good arm and everything else, but he was soft.
Yeah.
You like him because he was like a
Someone
pretty
said
boy. He
John
was all
Elway,
that
Tim
pretty boy
Hendricks.
quarterback, always in the media,
Yeah, he
always
was
in the
there.
commercials.
Derek
He was that. He was
Yeah.
that pretty. He was that pretty boy in South Beach.
Like,
He was
Yeah.
making
like
commercials,
Jack
and
Tatum.
I'm gonna buy all my players' gloves. Like he's so white, you're
Yeah,
still soft.
looking like Magnum PI and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a terrible actor. You know what I mean? Ace Ventura.
Yeah, I see Ace. That's what I was.
Ace
just thinking,
Ventura,
Ace Ventura. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, he didn't even do that good in that movie.
That's funny shit.
Yeah.
That is-
Man, but hey, I love y'all, but I gotta get off here. I got some shit to do. I gotta get ready.
No, most definitely.
What time tonight? 8:00.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what
8
time tonight
p.m.,
is? So 11 my time.
Yeah.
10 your time.
So
Yeah.
10 my time.
where you guys located? Where you at, Candy?
I'm in Florida.
And
Where
I
you
I'm
at?
back.
I moved back to Florida last month.
I'm back
Sorry about that. Sorry for all the things I said about Dan Marino, guys.
I'm not. He was. I'm not sorry. He was a softie. So what? Hey, so
I'm like, damn, that's he's like, damn, was he dissing Dan? Dan's the man.
Dan's the man,
Funny.
right? You've only the only quarterback to go 17-0. Or I guess didn't Brady do that too?
I'm ready. Went 17 though.
That was
Oh
what's
yeah,
his
that
name?
was
12.
That was,
Yeah,
That was Brian Greasy. They went 16.
Brian Greasy, that's what it was.
Grease ball.
Yeah, Demery wasn't another one of those dudes that never made a playoff, right?
Yeah, he
yeah.
made playoffs. He got his ass kicked.
He's the Charles Barkley of football.
Yeah, he got beat down by the Bills during that time. The Bills were a powerful team. He got beat down by the
I
Bills.
was like, now if we were talking about basketball, I could talk about a few players. I know like Charles Barkley, Larry Bird, Kevin Garnett.
Wait, who-
I'm like, I got a
Candy,
few.
Talk about the 80s.
That's for another
Last
show,
time I
Candy.
watched.
There's no basketball yet.
Let's talk about
who is-
80s.
Who is your team though, Candy?
The Celtics.
Yep, bye, Candy.
Oh,
Like Andy.
Go- go,
Yes,
go
that the only let me explain, okay?
No.
My first husband was a huge Lakers fan and just would turn off the TV on me when I wanted to watch something. He would just come and change that shit. So literally,
bet.
he broke TV,
So why-
throwing him on the ground because he would not let me watch TV, and I'd be like, "Fuck you."
Well,
that's
it should be your
love.
ex because your ex-husband was right. I did the same thing. I'm a Laker fan.
Okay,
So,
I wish I could bump you out the chat right now.
I'm sorry.
Candy,
do
Candy, how did you feel before and after the Warriors played the Celtics?
You know, I don't really watch it anymore. I haven't watched it in years since I was a bartender in 2008. So I honestly became more I don't remember the team that LeBron James was on. Cleveland, I believe. That's the one I used to watch
Miami.
constantly because I'd be
Cleveland,
bartending,
Miami,
and
the
so
Lakers.
I liked the Celtics because I just liked Kevin Garnett. It was more the player, not the team. But I was more of watching like the Cleveland and the Lakers fight against each other. I just hated watching soccer every time because I worked in a Mexican restaurant where it was constantly like goal, goal, goal. I was like, oh hell no, I'm playing basketball. So I would just change it to basketball and watch like Cleveland, and became more of like a LeBron James fan because he's just such a good player. And the fact that he's on the Lakers now, yeah, but
Warren
he
Moon was
back
nice.
then. He was back then.
Yeah.
He was a good player
Yeah,
back then.
I'm gonna cut you again. Jason Reeves, we got thinking about Warren Moon. Warren Moon was a hub quarterback on a bad team.
Yeah, he was nice.
Yeah,
He was-
was the Houston Oilers. He was a hell of a quarterback. Today, Warren Moon played today. He was on top 5 quarterbacks today. I understand you know who Warren Moon is, but he played in the Canadian Football League and then brought him over to the Houston Oilers. He was a hell of a quarterback on a bad team. He had that guy, a couple of receivers, but he was a hell of a quarterback.
See, it's kind of nice when you have
he
a
really
good,
though?
It's nice when you have a good player that
really
takes a team.
He was on a bad team. He was on Houston Oilers at the time when Houston Oilers was the worst team, the only worst team in the NFL. All they had was Earl Campbell.
When you can tell that a player is good on a shitty team, that's when you know.
Yeah, he was good on a shitty team.
He was the Derek Carr of the Titans.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yep. Can't get them over, but you know, kids nowadays think it's the quarterback's supposed to be able to just do everything and play defense, offense, and if you have a great quarterback, you win Super Bowls and playoffs. It just don't work like that.
Don't work that way.
I haven't heard that name in so long.
You can have the best quarterback in the NFL and never make the playoffs, or win a championship or even sniff it, for that matter. So it's a team sport, man. It's a team sport. You got to have all the right pieces. Everybody's got to do their 111. Or you ain't winning shit. You ain't winning shit.
Marcus Banks is the only person I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna give him props. Marcus Banks is a Tennessee Titan fan. He originally was a Houston Oilers fan, I'm assuming. He's the only non-Raider fan that has a moderator on my channel.
Yeah,
so
nice.
Marcus Banks is awesome. He comes in my channel.
Marcus Banks is one of the most awesome guys you can talk to. So he's a moderator on my channel. Thanks, Marcus.
That's my defensive coordinator. And sometimes offensive coordinator. So shout to MB.
Yeah, and Warren put numbers against the Vikings. Yeah, I remember that, but it went the wrong way.
Honestly, I just really want to see the Raiders take it to a Super Bowl. But if we get at least to the freaking playoffs, I'll be happy. I'll be pretty happy if we get to the playoffs. But if we get to the playoffs and don't take it to the Super Bowl at the same time, like, come on, man, you made it this far, you better take it.
Yeah.
Well, we got to get to the playoffs. That's the main thing. We got the playoffs and win some good division.
We got
to get to the playoffs.
We are gonna get to the playoffs,
and then we got to go from there.
Yeah. So that's why I had to go with that 12-5 record. I'm worried about being 8 games, winning 9 games, just being 1 game away from the Super Bowl. I think that's just gonna crush everybody, the nation's hopes, right? The team's hopes, like everybody. So I want to see us if we're gonna do good, or shit, if we're not doing that good, then do something, rebuild. Be like, okay, this team is as good as we thought, but
17-0, 17-0,
winning 8-9 games.
No, Candy, you're wrong. Not 17-0, not 17-0. 20-0. That means you won everything.
Right, 20-0. There you go.
Right, 20-0. I like that.
Right?
We spend too many years in the middle. Like, this team has been, that's why we can never build through the draft, or why we missed in the draft a bunch of times, is we're always in the middle of the pack, right? You're not getting the best players. You're getting, second or third tier, first round picks or whatever, and then you can't develop them or can't keep them in the building. So, I want to see us just win to make the playoffs, or damn it, I'd hate to miss it by 1 game this year. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Me too.
I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, because I feel like we're going to be closer in these games than we see. That's the thing. We've been close in these games these last couple of years, and we're still, what I'm saying. And we've got better coaching, we've got better players. What I'm saying. Like it's going to happen. We are there. Yeah. We just got to see.
It's got to click eventually. You got to put it. Like we had a good team the year before, right? Bad coaching this year. Last year we had new coaching, and then everybody got hurt. So this year, hopefully it could all just come together, right? Good coaching, decent players, everybody stays injury free. And if that happens, man, the sky's the limit for this team, I feel.
Yeah, we gelling.
It'd be nice. It'd definitely be nice.
But man, I love y'all. I'm gonna get off here. I appreciate y'all having me. Everybody, make sure y'all go like, subscribe if you're on my channel. If you're on my channel watching, make sure you pop into everybody's like, subscribe,
Thank you guys
follow,
for
share.
showing up. I appreciate you all.
I
And if
appreciate
you all
everyone.
have not went over, go to everybody's channel, send them a like, some love. Go follow if you love football. If you don't and you want to argue, go do that too. Just go follow
we do that
everybody.
too.
If you want to talk about my shiny ball head, subscribe to my channel. All right, Candy, nice having you here. Appreciate that. Good.
Candy, bless you. Thank you.
11 tonight. I will see y'all. Just send me the link.
For sure. Definitely. I'll make that right now. Definitely.
Bye.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Goodbye. All right. What else interesting show, Jason?
Yeah, definitely, man. Like we were definitely glad. I mean, great conversation, and it's a good warm up to what what's coming. It's football, y'all. Real football is back. We've been waiting months, weeks, days, many days, but it's back.
Okay, so let me put this up for you guys that in our station. As far as me, Jason, and I, as well as Chewy Sportscast, have a new show on Tuesday nights at 7:00 p.m. Pacific time. Uh, here's a logo that we're going to use. Look out for it. Like, and subscribe. There's our new logo.
Oh, just gonna give them like a little teaser of that thing.
That's our new logo for our Tuesday night shows. The
Easy.
Cover 3 show. It'll start Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern. Please join us for me, Raider Jason, and Chewy as we talk football and other things. More likely football, but
Yeah, sometimes.
well,
Yeah.
some of top might come up. My shiny ball hitter, somebody like.
They getting some love. Yeah,
All
but
right.
yeah, we appreciate like everybody that came in for Rebels and Kandie's channel. We hope we entertained you guys today. We appreciate you guys coming, and the comments were wonderful questions. Everybody appreciate you. Hope you come back. You know what I'm saying? Definitely show some love. And yeah, this is Chris, man, with that bald head, man. If you don't come back for me, you come back for Chris's bald head.
And I'd be more waxed than before. Anyway, guys, you guys have a great day. Watch the show tonight. What time you said again, Jason?
It will be 8 p.m. California time. So on my East Coast people, I think it's 11. My math ain't all that math. But yeah, we'll be 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Pacific time. We will be here. Yeah, talking about mental health, man. Like I said, we want people to be able to talk about these things. And even if you don't feel like talking about it, at least listen. And it might be something you're going through, because, we've all been through trials and tribulations of all kinds. So I'm pretty sure something that we touch on will touch home with you, and hopefully it will help you.
All right. With that being said,
here we go.
Go Raiders.
Let's go. Yeah, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Until the next time, we is.
It's the Sunday Morning Pillaging Show. Chris for Raiders. Oh. Raider Nation, Jasin. Oh. Pillaging just for